thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome, everyone, for episode 451 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing, recorded live from the corners of the Dakotas, listened and viewed by millions around the globe. Tommy, you really almost tricked me on that one. Wait until the last.
I'm like, wait a minute, hit the button. I didn't know if the sound came through to you or not, but
yeah. Yes, it came through. We are here for episode 451. We have an exciting guest this week. We're going to talk with Big Dr. Pack here in a little bit. And we've quite honestly got more topics than we're even going to be able to get to this week. We have such a long list of topics. But first, I guess topic number one, possibly the most exciting topic this episode, is brought to you by our good friends over at Build Fast Formula Supplements. Check out their full line of supplements. It's buildfastformula.com. There are friends right here in the Dakotas, kind of sandwiched right in between Tommy and I, so you don't have to go far from either of us to find them. You don't actually even have to go that far. All you do is go to buildfastformula.com. You can do it right from the convenience of your home or phone or wherever you buy things on the internet. And personal favorite of mine are, let's see, I'm going to pick three. I'm going to go 80-20 protein. They're fully loaded pre-workout, full blitz formula, and Vaso Blitz. Best part, though, you can save 10% on everything there by using discount code Massenomics. Thanks, Build Fast.
And this episode is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, Tanner, but there's a little something called Black Friday going on this week. And Texas Power Bars is getting in on the action. If you head on over there right now, they have all types of Black Friday deals going on. You can get the Texas Deadlift Bar for up to like $60 off. The original Texas Power Bar, about $30 off. And, I'm looking through here. They got the Texas Squat Bar. That one's like $80 off. 29 millimeter Texas Power Bar, about $30 off. So some pretty significant savings depending on what bar you're into. All of those are available in a variety of shaft coatings, sleeve options. So this really is a great time to add one of those bars to your gym. Do it. They're our favorite bars. They're almost the only bars we use because they are that good. So Texas Power Bars. I love
this bar.
Yeah. So head on over to TexasPowerBars.com and take advantage of those Black Friday deals. Thank you, Texas Power Bars.
It's my kind of place.
See, I don't know any of the words to that song besides.
Do you know who sings it?
Toby Keith.
Rest in power.
I actually wouldn't have known that until we did the podcast when he died and you said that. I'm like, I actually didn't know for sure who sang that song, so now I got it remembered.
Stored in the permanent spank bank.
It's locked up in there, locked up tight.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta say something. All right,
first things first.
We got a lot. We got a lot on the list.
Can you put the first things first?
The first thing's gonna go first here. There's a lot on this list. We might not get through all of them, but I gotta say, speaking of Black Friday, speaking of ads, dude, I don't know if I've ever had a product advertised more to me on social media than this freaking freak athlete reverse Nordic hyper device. It's like,
and I did in a bunch of those.
Well, this is what's weird.
Is that the black one with orange writing?
Yes. And it's like a table, and you can do like Nordics, but you can also do like back extensions and like 50 other things on it.
God, they must be spending a fortune on it.
But that's the thing, though. This is where it's weird. Is I always, because I see ad, my brain goes zoop and flips it by. But it's hit a level this week that I can't ignore anymore. And I finally realized I'm not getting. Actually, now I am getting ads from them too. But the ads, Gluck is running his own ads for that product.
Okay.
Garage Gym Reviews are running their own ads for that product. And like 3 other influencers I've never heard of are also running ads for that product, which makes
we're even doing it and we didn't realize it.
Damn it. You're running ads for it too, which makes me think their affiliate code must be paying out amazing, because I've never, I don't see anyone else running ads promoting Rogue equipment, you know, like,
well, I mean, I think that's the most interesting part. They're literally paying for ads.
yes, that's what's crazy about it. So unless there's something I'm misunderstanding, I guess they could actually be paying like freak athlete.
I was just going to say that's probably what's going on.
That more than likely is what's happening.
They can leverage their reach versus their own lack of, you know.
But dude,
I mean, obviously leveraging their reach, but even to that's an interesting concept actually, like leveraging their account for paid ads versus their own account for paid ads. It's kind of an interesting thought. It
is. And I mean, not that that's anything new or anything, but God, it's just like hit a level I've never seen it on a product before. It is so much to the point where now it has annoyed me and I don't want to buy the damn, even if I thought
how much does it cost?
I think it's on sale.
I have no idea.
For like, is it $600 or something?
Okay. That's actually fair then. I was going to say, is it under over?
And it's probably a fine product. It seems to be reviewed well and everything, but dude, the ads too many of them. They're coming from all angles. I can't stop them.
That could be a product I could not with what we have at Massenomics Gym. There's absolutely no use
in a home gym. I could totally see it.
Yeah, I could see it.
But damn, that thing is advertised hard right now.
Yeah.
Big Keith has or what's he showing here? Oh, he's just showing the ad.
Yeah. With a little picture of you. See, you are you are in on it.
And here I am.
There's a picture of you right on it. Yeah. You're actually doing it. That's what.
Make sure.
How much are they paying you?
Make sure you use code Massenomics. You can save big there today.
What deal did you work under the table without me knowing?
Actually, scratch that. Don't use code Massenomics. Use code Tommy D. Tanner will get his
Tommy
cut
D
of it
creative
later.
for 11% off. It's a mail-in rebate though.
Yeah, it's like all good things are.
Yeah. I have 100 different things I could talk about, but one I just wanted to mention. Obviously, we've talked about this many times. Everyone knows this, but here's the scenario: going to get coffee through a drive-through thing. You know, like any one of those places
Starbucks,
that you go
Caribou,
get. Starbucks,
Scooters.
Caribou. We have scooters. Is that, or we have? There's another new one in town that's pretty nice that people like.
What is that new one?
Iggy's or Izzy's or
I think it's
something
Iggy.
like Ziggy's.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't been
Ziggy's.
to that one, but.
And Jack, my son, I deal with him. He did this and that, and I take him to go get one. And I'm already conditioned. I'm like, no, these drinks are expensive. So I'm not going to get caught off guard by the drink being expensive because I know these drinks cost. Don't spoil anything, but here's the thing in my head. I'm like, I know these drinks cost like $5, so it's not gonna like bother me when we go do it because I already know it. So we get in line, drive through, ask him his order. I say, what size do we order it? I'm like, what size? He's like, I don't know, medium. And I say medium, and they're like, well, that's 20 or 24. And I wasn't even really thinking at the time, but those are huge. First of all, for like
20 seems like a big medium to me.
Yeah. So I'm like, 20 is fine. And they say, okay, pull around your price. We'll have your price for you at the window. And at the time I'm like, why didn't you have it for me?
Well, they never
now?
tell you. They never tell you at the thing. I think it's because a lot of them are taking the orders and making shit at the same time, so they don't have the number up top. I think I don't know.
That seems fair,
but that seems to be a thing that happens at all coffee places. So that's my.
So we get there. He has this one medium 20-ounce drink, and do you dare to take a guess?
Was it a blended drink?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
A medium blended 20-ounce drink. Only because I went through this with my. I don't get those. I went through this with my wife a few months ago, and I was absolutely in shock. At Starbucks, I think it was like $8.25 or $8.50.
It was $8.25.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, obviously I paid. I said I want to be like I was in shock. What I actually did is pulled out my credit card, paid, didn't say a word to the lady, and drove away. But in my mind, I'm like,
this is highway robbery
is going on here.
Call the police.
And this is with me knowing, I thought I was conditioned to know these are expensive and not be thrown off, and then I'm like. You just somehow exceeded what I thought the mark was by like another 50%.
Dude,
now I'm like, that literally is the price of like a burrito from Qdoba.
Well, actually not quite,
Almost.
but it's getting close to it. Yeah. Dude, it's insane. The only thing I will get at those places, first of all, I always get the smallest drink ever. And at most, I go once a week. Okay. Like a lot of times I don't go, like I might go 2 or 3 weeks without anything. But then like, okay, maybe there's a week or two where I'll go multiple, or 2 weeks in a row. But all I ever get is I get just the smallest size cold brew when it's nice out. That's my drink. Straight up cold brew, nothing in it. I want cold brew. If it's cold out, then I'm usually either looking at just a straight up coffee or an Americano. That's what I'm getting. Every rare, like probably twice a year, I'll do like a latte or something. But none of the crazy stuff. And like basically all those small drinks are usually $5. Or they're usually between $4 and $5, which still is a ton of money for cold brew for them to go $4.50.
Yes.
Like there's not alcohol in this stuff. It's just straight up coffee. You know, there's nothing fancy.
Well, so this blended thing, I'm like, you can go to the fanciest like ice cream shop anywhere, and like, can you even purchase a shake that like be like, give me the craziest thing on your menu? Do they even have something that costs $8?
Like if you go to Dairy Queen, you're saying?
Wherever, yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
actually, the largest, I don't know if like a large Blizzard at Dairy Queen costs $8.
No way, it doesn't cost $8.
Like, I don't know. Those prices are getting up there too. But yeah, you might be right. It probably is less than $8 still.
And I totally get that I'm just an old guy yelling at whatever old guys.
Now you also
at,
totally get how some people are broke their entire life.
Well, let's all be honest. I know I'm not, there's a lot of people that actually enjoy those and get those, and I don't want to yuck other people's yums, but that's insane. Can we, even the people that get those, can we all agree that's absolutely freaking insane?
It is absolutely crazy. Like there's,
like something's broke. Something I honestly think is broken, that a 20-ounce coffee drink costs like $8 to $9. Like what's going on here? Something's
and even
not
if you got to pay your labor,
who's in on
even if
this?
you're paying your labor $16 an hour, it's like, they have to sell 2 drinks, and like we've damn near comped our hour of work.
How are so many people in on this that it's normal? And I've been over here on the sidelines and like they just like catch me off guard.
It's that addiction. People just get used to thinking that it's something they have to do, and now they do it.
Now I'm gonna go back next time, and I'm gonna be like, okay, I guess these are like $7 or $8 now. And the next time I go through the line, they're gonna be like, that'll be $11.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah,
like,
you got the 20-ounce one last time. This is the 24-ounce one. It actually gets more expensive. It doesn't even scale correctly. It just gets more expensive the bigger it gets.
Yeah, it's marginally more expensive.
It costs more per ounce to get the bigger one.
Okay, so just wanted to get that out there because that's nuts.
So
I
just
want that
be careful of your
documented.
coffee prices out there is what you're trying to say.
Absolutely insane.
You know what? It's still a good deal always. These bad boys right here.
What do you got? Yeah.
I got a little lime LaCroix.
Oh, just a second. Can you tell everyone about that LaCroix? I want to grab something that'll be timely here for this, actually.
Well, the lime LaCroix. First time I've had this one in a couple of weeks, and always a crispy crack, always delicious. Oh, okay, we're getting updates here from Keith in the Discord. This is a little follow-up on Blizzard pricing. I don't know. Okay, Keith, where's this information coming from? Is this DoorDash pricing? Yeah, a mini Blizzard is not. Okay, Keith was trying to tell us a mini Blizzard is $7. A mini Blizzard is $7 on DoorDash. It is not $7 at Dairy Queen. So, I don't think Keith is trying. Tanner just rejoined here. Keith was trying to justify.
Wrong again, Keith.
Yeah. Keith is giving DoorDash pricing, which is always like 50%
He's giving
more.
bogus information like he always does, trying to throw us off. What I wanted to show everyone is this is Black Friday coming up soon, and we do have a special deal. We have a bunch of deals going on with Black Friday, but one of them is with every order, at least the first 400 or 500 orders, you get a free koozie.
Lifting department koozie, baby.
Yeah, the lime green lifting department koozie. Do you have one of these bad boys yet, Tommy?
I do here somewhere in my giant pile of Black Friday stuff that I have to attend to.
Yeah.
And also the official follow-up, Ryan did have it. A large Oreo Blizzard at Dairy Queen, $7. That has actual stuff in it. You know, there's actual products in it besides ice and liquid coffee and sugar.
Yes. All right. Should we talk about Black Friday a little bit?
Yeah, we probably should.
So try and cover most of the stuff that's going to be going on with our Black Friday sale. I would first of all start by saying this is our biggest drop of the year. It's our biggest sales weekend of the year by far. It's important to us. So if you've ever considered supporting us, Black Friday would be an awesome time to purchase something.
Some might say it's make or break, actually. This is
sort of where
serious.
we make our nut for the year.
A lot of nutting going on during Black Friday.
Our nut gets made on this one. And the more we nut, the better when it comes to Black Friday.
That's what I always say.
So, first of all, free lifting department koozie with every order while supplies last, but we have pretty good supply, so supplies should last for that. I also think for the first 100 orders, those will get another free little gift.
Oh, we do have a little collection of goodies we've been sitting on.
What do you think about the magnets? We've got 2 magnets, and we've got 2 different style magnets, 50 each, so 100 total. I wondered about the first 100 orders each get one of those magnets.
I think that's a good idea. That's a good
Should we
place.
show those magnets?
Yeah, why don't we?
Okay. So
This is a very engaged group here.
yeah. So the first 100 orders each get a magnet. You'll either get the Deadlifter can magnet. That's kind of a stack of them there. You see the Deadlifter can magnet or the Natural for Life magnet. And that'll be the first 100 orders when our Black Friday drop hits. And then every order also gets a lifting department koozie. So first 100 orders get the magnet. First 400 orders all get a koozie. And then we're going to have a few items on sale that hadn't been on sale previously. And there won't be a discount code needed for those. We actually got to figure out exactly what those items are. But there's a couple things we're going to put on sale that we hadn't put on sale before. So check the sale tab. And then new items. We have how many things here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I already lost count. That's how many there are. 6, 7, 8. I'm counting like 8 or 9 new things that we've got for going for sale as with the drop.
Yeah. Yep, that'd be correct.
There's going to be 2 brand new pairs of shorts. One of them, though, is only available. You will not find it normally on our website. It will only be available to our supporting member crew. We will post a link to that in our Discord. That is the only way that you will get in on that that particular pair of shorts. It is crew exclusive.
Hyper exclusive.
The other pair of shorts will be available for everyone, even you normies out there. You can get the other shorts, and they are both mesh shorts on the blank that we've loved that we had the squat shorts on and the lifting department shorts all printed on. Okay. Talked about the shorts. We have 2 new tees coming. One of the tees is on our boxier fit blank, and one of the tees is on our classic athletic fit blank. They're different designs. It's not the same tee on 2 different blanks. It's two different designs, but offering 2 different blanks. So depending on what kind of blank guy or gal you are, we've got something
options
for either one of you. Let's not show the shirts off because I don't have any in arm's reach.
Okay.
I also don't have the shorts in arm's reach, so we won't show those
If
off.
there's something we need to show, I do have them right here. If there's something
You have
think we should
everything there.
show.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I don't know what we want to show, but we do have a new crew neck sweatshirt and a zip-up hoodie sweatshirt both coming for sale. And I do have the crew neck right here, so I could show that.
Yeah.
I've actually worn this in at least one video.
I'm afraid to wear mine until I take photos because I just have a feeling I'll put a giant
get
stain on it.
Yeah. So the crew neck is the lifting department crew neck in this. What kind of blue do you think this is, Tommy?
That's just kind of a sort of a faded blue, a denim blue.
Faded?
I don't know.
Faded navy blue?
Yeah, something like that. I forget what the official color is called.
Yeah. I really like that particular color. It's the working hard blue.
That's right.
As Big Alex said. I really like that crew neck. I've worn it once or twice, and I'm a big fan of that crew neck. We also have... Do we want to say what this is?
We can say what it is.
Okay, we also have a new fanny pack.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We did an exclusive run of fanny packs last year for the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic, and those sold out pretty quickly. And we have a new one. I think it's even better than the old one, honestly.
This one feels very premium. It's quite nice.
Yeah, this one is really nice. I'm really happy. We weren't exactly sure what we were getting into on this, and it turned out really good. So this new fanny pack is the cat's ass.
It's nice.
All right. Oh, and a hat.
I
almost forgot. We got a new hat, too.
Yeah, I don't have the hat yet. I'm still waiting for that
it's on
thing
the way
to
to
show
you.
up.
It's on the way to
I'm
you,
actually very excited for that hat.
So the only thing we showed off was the crew neck.
Should I show off?
Should we show one more thing?
Should I show off one of the tees?
Yeah, let's. Well, which one do you think?
The colored one or not the colored one?
Maybe the colored one.
Okay.
I really like that one. The suspense is killing me, and I even know what it is.
All right.
I haven't worn this yet, but I've been like saving this for a special occasion.
On the Boxy Comfort Colors blank, we now have in wine color, which is like a purple. We have the gym logo tee as another item in the collection, and
I don't think the video even does that tee justice.
I've nice.
Got 100 or so of them over here over my shoulder, and that is a sweet.
Yeah,
I love that color.
First time we've ever had a shirt on this color. Also, only the second time we've ever printed on this blank. So it feels super premium, a little boxier, a little more oversized, and just a really, really nice shirt.
And for anyone that knows specifics, that is on the Comfort Colors blank that a lot of people like.
Yes,
same blank as Smoky Tea. Correct. Other than the fact, technically a different blank because that smoke color is a different product number.
Yeah,
but for all intents and purposes, I believe you would say the same blank, unless I'm speaking.
This I think the fit's the same. This one maybe feels just slightly thicker.
Yeah,
like the weight might be just slightly heavier on this one, but yeah, otherwise it's basically the same.
Yep. It's not the reason it's not the same is because that smoke tea, that special tie-dye color is just like a whole separate product basically. Yeah. So that's it. Like I said, if there was ever time to support us, it's this Black Friday weekend. First 100 orders get a free exclusive magnet. The only way someone gets one of those magnets, first 400 orders get free koozie, and then we have some items on that will be on sale that there will be no code needed, and then like our 10 new things.
That's it.
So
that's all it is.
Anything you buy to support us, we'd appreciate it. We'll love it.
If you buy one of each, we'll say you supported us. That's all it takes.
Yes. Big Alex said the color palette of this drop may or may not have been inspired by the color of my surgery bruises. Yes, my leg is very wine colored right now, so that's correct. It's a wine colored leg. All right, that's the Black Friday drop. I'm excited for it. Tommy, what do you think?
It's always the craziest time of the year for me. I was just thinking between that and what day is Black Friday on this year? Yeah, Thursday. Oh, and also, well,
Black Friday falls on a Friday this year.
And also the crew has a little early access too, like always. So
yes, and we will for the crew in the Discord, you'll see, there's an event for it in there, and you'll see when your early access is for everything. So you get your first dibs on. And some of the things like crew neck sweatshirts, zip up hoodies and stuff, there's not tons of inventory. Even like the fanny pack, there's only so many of those, and that thing is priced pretty well, and it's pretty sweet. So like those could sell out pretty quickly too.
I mean, it's damn near to the point where it's like, pick, do you want a large coffee or do you want to get a fanny pack? That's basically evenly priced now.
Yes. It's not that far off.
One actually had to be manufactured and shipped all over the country, and the other one just was grounded ice with some coffee dust. Some sugar.
The Massenomics Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic Powerlifting Meet registration opened this Monday. Was it? So it was just like 2 days ago at the time we're recording this. And I think I don't know, someone can fact check me. There's like 3 spots left, literally. And it's actually only open to supporting member crew and Massenomics gym members. And I think they took like 87 of the spots in the first 24 hours. And I think there maybe is just a couple of spots left.
So
if you're listening to this, I don't know. By the time you're listening to this, realistically, they're probably full. I don't know.
They are probably full, but if you still somehow listen to this podcast weekly, really wanted to be in the meet, and you're not a supporting member, that's kind of crazy. But that is okay. What you can do though is you can get your name on the waiting list and you should do that because there always is dropouts. And getting your name on the waiting list, Dave does maintain the waiting list. That is your surest way to still get in on the action. And at this point, getting on the waiting list, will, I would say, probably guarantee you a spot because there will be a lot of dropouts with 90 people over the course of 9 months.
Yep, absolutely. What do we got here? Oh, how about a little sack segment? Or should I do that later?
Ooh.
Or do you want to do sack segment now?
I'll let you be the judge there. I always love a good
We'll do
sack
a sack segment. A little quick sack segment. Got a little something in the mail just today, as a matter of fact.
Fresh out the sack.
Yeah. Big Tanner and Tommy. That's it. Thank
Just
you.
a note.
Thanks for what you do with the podcast and all the rest. Combine these stickers with any drink spotter for a new level of safety. Keep a few for yourself and maybe slip the extras into some Black Friday orders. See you down the road at Lift Hard Live Easy 3Z. Cool beans. From Big Brad the Pad, Hall of Fame class of 2024. He signed at Hall of Fame 2024. He has Brad the Pad stickers.
That's really
and
good.
And it says strong, silly, safe. And it's a picture of him with the Bells of Steel pad from the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic 2.
That's a really good sticker.
I love the sticker. I think my wife already put one on our front door. So
I like that a lot.
We're well represented on Brad the Pad. For anyone that doesn't know, Brad is the one that ran the pad at the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic 2, the catch pad for the South Dakota Shield, the blue South Dakota Shield. He had the job of trying to catch the pad, and he has lovingly been dubbed as Brad the Pad ever since, and that is forever what he will be known as in the Massenomics community.
Strong, silly, safe. That's just such a good subhead to that. That's so good.
It's really good. That sticker's awesome. So we do have a few extra of those. If you're really wanting a Brad the Pad sticker and you order over Black Friday, let me know, and maybe you can get one of those.
That's awesome.
I might just keep them all for myself.
They're mine.
I'm going to have to put at least a couple of those up in Massenomics gym too. This week's supporting members. It's a relatively new segment of the Massenomics podcast. What we do here in supporting our members is give back to those that give to us. You can become a supporting member by heading over to massenomics.com/join. That's where you join up. You see all of our different various membership levels. It's a myriad of levels. You have to navigate yourself through all the levels, and you may even just find a level that works best for you. You may decide you want to level up and go to the next higher level. You can go up a level. You can go down a level. Anything with the levels.
Can you take me higher?
Yes. You can go to a higher level if you'd like. And when you sign up, you get access to our exclusive Discord, early drop stuff. There's a discount code just for supporters, all kinds of stuff. We haven't talked about it for a little while. We've never talked about it on the podcast. I'm not going to now. I'm just going to tease, but we have this idea possibly in 2025 where we take this whole supporting membership, speaking of a higher level, we take it one more notch. Just when you think you couldn't do more with the supporting membership thing, there could be more. But there could be more. Not positive yet because there could be. But there could be more.
We're pretty serious about this.
Yes, we have a lot of the groundwork in place of making this a reality, and it's something that I think would greatly amplify the value that supporting members feel that they are getting in return for their membership. Don't you think?
I think so.
I mean, it really is a whole nother level of stuff that we do try to actively. I think we do a good job of doing a lot of things to give back, but this could be a game changer. We could just flip the game completely on its freaking head with this one.
That is what it would happen if we did it. Yes.
Yes. So stay tuned for that. Become a supporting member so you can get in on it. But this week we saw some of you guys and gals doing stuff, and we want to recognize it. Big Spoon competed powerlifting meet. He went 8 for 9 with a 52.5 kilogram total PR. I'm no scientist, but that is a big PR.
Anytime you're having a 100-pound PR, that's always good.
Yes. Big Bowen competed in Maryland's Strongest Man in the 198 class, getting 3rd, and he also got to take his picture with some other really strong, notable dudes. So congrats, Big Bowen, and Congrats on the pictures you got there. The turkey pull went on. Strength Coast turkey pull down in SoCal. 4 crew members represented there. Big Andrew, Big David, one of them, Big Connor, and Big Mike were all there. I'm sure Connor was kind of running the show.
Yeah, that's what it
to a
looks
certain
like.
degree. MCing, and it looked like Andrew, I know, hit a deadlift PR. I'm just going to say they all hit deadlift PRs. I'm not sure about that, but
Everyone
this
was
is our
doing
segment.
it.
We can say whatever we want. And then this week's guest on Unpaid and Underrated was none other than Big crew member, Big Spicy Pizza.
The one and only.
Yeah, I listened to that one, and Spicy Pizza did not disappoint. I knew he was going to have a great episode, and he did it. So well done. This episode is also brought to us by our great friends over at Juggernaut AI. Juggernaut AI is the programming Tommy uses. I use it when my leg's not in Snap City.
When you got 2 good legs.
When I got 2 good legs, or at least one good one and one okay one. Right now, not there, but I will be back on Juggernaut AI as soon as I'm able to be. Tommy had a really easy set of squats with 365 pounds for a set of 6. It looked like RPE morning paper at most. That might even be a stretch. It might be harder for most people to just pick up the morning paper than it was for you to do that set of squats.
Yeah.
So.
Most people don't have knee sleeves on, though, when they pick up the morning paper. So that's the difference.
That's cheating, actually.
It's doing all
That's
the work
true.
for me.
That's true. You can sign up, learn more about their training, everything at juggernautai.app. That's also, like I said, where you get signed up and where you can use discount code Massenomics. That saves you 10% for the lifetime of your membership. And with the discount code, it ends up being like $30 a month. Is honestly like a really good value for what you're getting, I believe. They're always making changes to the app. And one of those changes we're going to talk about here, actually, that they started implementing, they actually have made it available, the Strongman programming, correct? I haven't looked into it myself yet. But
I'm not in the mood to...
I think Big Caden at the gym was going to switch to it. I think he probably already has.
Yeah,
so
I just saw that.
I'm waiting to talk to him to get the lowdown and have him run me through what it looks like and stuff.
Yeah, and I haven't dug into it because I'm very content with my program and how things are going.
Right.
I'm not trying to push Strongman training or anything, but yeah, it looked like they added a bunch of... I mean, the Strongman lifts actually exist in the app now, and it looks like there's a lot of options for training around it.
The really quick cliff notes just from Caden in a text. He said, yeah, I said, what's yours look like, roughly? And he said, I've got, 3 training days in the work that during the week that look pretty normal, and then an events day, basically, a 4th day, which is an events day. And I'm not sure. I'm sure you get some leeway to set that up differently depending on what you want to do, but that is not surprising. Like, that is a very common approach to strongman training often, I think. So not surprising that's
first you got to get strong before you can stay strong, and then use your strength.
Use your strength.
Yes.
Right. I mean, it's like Kaz said.
Mm.
So thanks, Juggernaut.
Well, our guest has arrived, Tanner.
All right. Should we let this son of a gun in here?
Yeah, I'm going to start booting these fools.
So for anyone that doesn't know, we are now joined officially by Big Dr. Pack. We got to meet you for the first time at the Arnold this year.
That's true. Cool. I forgot about the live stream aspect of this, so I came in guns blazing here.
Well, sometimes we cut like the little first part off of it. So
fair enough.
Some of the live viewers might have caught a little extra show, but the recorded version will be
less than.
You got to pay extra for some of that stuff.
Very nice.
So Dr. Pack, what's Dr. Pack short for?
So Pack is actually,
or is it not short? Is that the wrong way to say it?
It's Pack is my initials. Pack are my initials. How would you say it? It's my first name is Patroklos. My last name is Androulakis, and my second last name is Korakakis, which is a very uncommon setup for a Greek person. So it's not common to have both surnames. My parents were liberal like that, and Patroklos is also a very rare name. So I'm a weirdo from Greece with a weird Greek name that people outside of Greece think, oh, okay, just another Greek here, long Greek name. But even in Greece, they're like, what the fuck is this? Why do you have 2 surnames? And what's Patroklos?
That's interesting that you bring it up that way, because to us, that's exactly what we would think. It'd be like, I don't know, I guess that's just what Greek names are like.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hit you with something different. When you hear my accent, what do you think?
We
don't think
quite
anything.
Honestly, no idea. Like we have absolutely no clue. We even talked about it. We are like, We're pretty sure he is Greek, but then again, we don't really know that.
So the crazy thing is that everyone who's non-American hears me, and here in the UK. So I've been living in the UK for 12 years, British citizen, yada, yada, yada. The UK is my home, but I don't have a British accent, even though I had a British stepfather. Everybody that hears me who's not American says, "Are you from America?" Every American that hears me just hears Borat.
Oh, yeah, there's a little Borat, I guess. Yeah,
I could actually see that now that you say
Where
it.
was Borat from, Tommy?
Kazakhstan, right?
Yeah, Kazakhstan.
It's
Borat,
crazy because like I
Borat.
had a friend, Max Coleman. Do you know Max? Max
I
Coleman
don't
did
think so.
yeah, he's part of the same lab as I am. Shout out to
Okay.
Max. And he was over in the UK and he heard a person say it at the gym and nearly lost his mind. He was like, he does not sound American.
Do you ever bust out a Borat impression?
I'm not a good Borat impressioner. The classic
kind of just-
la 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 la.
There we go. Excellent. Okay, so you are Greek, but you live in the UK. How many languages do you speak?
2.5 essentially. Greek, English. So my English is better than my Greek. But I speak Greek fluently and I can write in Greek, obviously. But if it was like, if I have to write an email in English, I can bang that out in whatever, 20 seconds if it's a short email. Like if it's just a typical email to arrange the podcast with you. In Greek, I'll have to sit there and be like, all right, let's word it like that. Do I say greetings? Do I say this? And I speak a bit of German as well.
So the way you say that, so was English your first language or?
So Greek was my first language officially, but I left Greece when I was 12. And
Okay.
after I left Greece at 12, I spoke English and Greek at home because my stepfather is British. And I did school in English. And I had a lot of friends in Greece and I've kept touch with Greece fully. Like if we go to Athens together, you may feel like I still live there. But at the same time, I learned formal English, whereas I didn't really learn formal Greek, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. Okay. That's
The
interesting.
audience right now, wow, our lives have changed. Oh no, I was wondering about his English and Greek, how they rate.
Finally, we can put that one to bed. What we really got to know is what the hell is your sleep schedule like? Because so we're 9:22 p.m. here in Western Northeast South Dakota. You're in the UK. It is 3:22 a.m. You said, "Yep, no problem for me."
Let's fucking go. I'm just gonna pull out the stats for the last 6 years, okay, for time in bed. And let me flex to the audience before they call out my sleep quality. It says 8 hours and 11 minutes. Okay. All that to say that I still get my sleep in. It's not a YOLO
Yeah.
schedule in terms of regularity and duration. It's just that I've always been a night owl. And for the past few years, I work mostly with people from the States that operate in the Eastern time zone. And it works out, and it's always been a thing that I've had. I just make sure that I go to bed at a similar time. Today will be a bit later than usual. The funny thing was that I was chilling here, and I was like, okay, done with work, gonna go shower now, gonna take it easy, slowly make my way to bed, and I get the Google Calendar notification.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah,
Not yet. Not
correct.
so fast.
So what time is like in a normal day then? When are you typically going to bed?
3 to 4 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, which is great because like during this is the equivalent of waking up at 5 a.m. where everybody's asleep. You've got like you can zone in. For me, it's the opposite because like my wife will go to bed at around 11 or 12, and then I've got about 3 to 5 hours, depending on how much I push it, where nothing is going on. People in America are also off their computers because it's like, you know, it's starting to, at least in the Eastern time zone. It's, you know, late evening. Everybody here is obviously asleep, so things are relatively quiet. Nobody's messaging me, and I can just do my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you live in the UK, grew up in Greece till you're 12. You have obviously spent a lot of time in the States, of course, with work and everything else that you've done. I mean, will UK be where you live forever? Could you ever see moving to the US, or what do you think long term?
I love certain things about the US, but the main barrier, aside from the fact that I cannot just come and work there, because I'm a British and Greek citizen, that means that I can go anywhere in Europe tomorrow and work. I want to go to the Netherlands. Hey, Netherlands, I'm here. I'm gonna live here now. That's fine. Whereas for me to come to the US, there has to be, for me to live there permanently, there has to be an offer, a visa application, yada yada yada, plus the distance from Greece and the rest of Europe, where I have a lot of friends, is pretty big. So like I'd be 7 hours behind Greece, which is a bit of a pain in terms of communicating with people, and I'm in daily contact with people from Greece. But more importantly, like the UK is my home, and I feel very comfortable here, and I'm used to the UK in terms of the way things are done. But Walmart, over all those reasons, it can get heated. It's a heated debate.
Yeah, that's fair. Talking about your lifting history, obviously you have the education behind it, but you also have the actual anecdote. You've spent time in the gym yourself lifting. What would you describe your personal training like? Like, what are your goals? How do you train? What are you doing when you're in the gym?
So I'm like, I'd say a hypertrophy slash strength enthusiast, and that's in the order of priority. I love lifting. I love going to the gym and, getting a pump, pushing myself close to failure, yada, yada, yada. So at the moment, I'm doing a few heavy sets for overhead press and deadlift, because I want to hit a 300 kilo deadlift and potentially 110 kilo OHP in pounds. That's 660 for the deadlift and 240.
42.
Yeah, 242, respect.
Yeah.
For the OHP. The rest is all hypertrophy training, around 10 to 20 sets per each muscle group. A lot of machine work. And I love to train like 5 to 6 times a week at the moment, even if it's for like 30 to 40 minutes. That's it. In terms of background, strength training, I did a bit of powerlifting at some point for a couple of years. There was a time in my life where I was mostly squatting. So there was like weeks where it would be, okay, 4 squat sessions and nothing else this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love lifting, man.
Amen. We can relate to that. We have both, done a fair bit of powerlifting, strongman, stuff like that. Could you ever see yourself, do you have any desire to compete in anything again? Whether it be powerlifting, or you mentioned hypertrophy. Would you ever see yourself wanting to compete in like bodybuilding or anything like that?
The infamous. I would go to like a bodybuilding show as a joke, but I wouldn't want to offend anyone there, so I wouldn't do it actually. No, not really. I don't think so. Unless, I don't know, when I'm much older, I'm like, oh, I need a new challenge or something, and it comes up. So never say never and all that jazz. But lifting is my happy time. So if there's a comp involved, then not all of a sudden it becomes a to-do, because we've set this like official goal and we can't deviate from the program because blah, blah, blah. And I like the flexibility and the ADHD nature of, okay, I went to the gym today. I feel like today I wanted to flip a 45 plate and catch it. So I sat there and I did that for a while. Then I was like, okay, let's do chin-ups now. Then let's do a heavy OHP single. Yada, yada, yada. Whereas if I had a comp in mind, all of that is off the table and you got to focus on training because, like, okay, you have the comp going on.
Right. That makes sense. So what, talking about your training, but what you do professionally, and you have the science background, the science-based lifting that you focus on and everything, like, I guess what I'm wondering is, do you have to you are an actual lifter too, how important is it to be an actual lifter for the science side of it? Because someone in theory wouldn't have to be practicing what they preach. But do you think my assumption is yes, it is extremely valuable to be out there actually walking the walk, but curious your take on it.
Yeah. So if we're speaking strictly about somebody just doing the science, you could make the argument that even if you're not actively a lifter now and you've lifted in the past, that's not going to completely like take away from your, the quality of your science, especially if you have a team of individuals in your lab and they may lift more than you or whatever. But I do think in general, as an evidence-based practitioner, So as a science communicator, rather than just a scientist, being a lifter is extremely valuable, and so is being a coach, because a lot of that anecdotal experience can then be combined, obviously, with your scientific knowledge in order to provide an actually evidence-based response. As a scientist solely, I would agree with you, though, that overall, being a lifter can not only allow you to design studies a bit better, but may also help with idea generation in terms of what makes sense from research from a practical perspective. Because at the end of the day, we are in the applied sciences. So I care as PAC to do research for the lifters. Obviously, I care about understanding how muscle growth works, how strength works, yada, yada, yada. But I care more about being able to give lifters direction, at least in terms of, how to train for strength and hypertrophy, and help people like myself who love lifting. So when I started sort of getting into the scene as an observer, not as a participant, back in 2013 or 2012, there wasn't really a whole lot of science, and I naturally had a lot of questions, and I was like, oh, okay, there's no study that has looked at, like, has taken power lifters and have them follow a program. How is that possible? Like, are we basing all these, like, recommendations for programming and this and that? Like, what's all that based on? So yeah, one of my goals was to be able to have those papers there for people in the future to be like, oh, well, a study actually looking at the minute bullshit that we care about in the gym, actually examining that phenomenon versus, oh, there's a study that looked at something else and they also tested this variable. And if you look at that variable, it sort of looks like the thing we do in practice, but not really. I don't know if you remember back in the day when there would be like those two studies that everybody would reference that weren't even in like lifters.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. But what I don't know, what is Applied Muscle Development Lab? Like, I don't really understand I don't really understand the practical science side of it. So like, what is that? Is that like a group of you, like a cohort of people that do similar things that you're doing, that you all work together, or what? I've seen that pop up on, a couple of your descriptions and stuff before, but I don't, I can pretend like I act like I know what it is, but I really don't.
Yeah, it's a subscription-based cult, essentially. So, like, we have different...
All right, you had us at cult. We're familiar with cults, yeah.
Subscription tiers, and depending on how much you pay, you can get the golden robe, you can get the black with stripes robe, yada, yada, yada. But joking aside, it's just Dr. Schoenfeld's lab over at Lehman College.
Okay.
And it's essentially a team I met through Brad Schoenfeld a couple of years ago, which consists mostly of his master students and ex-master students, as well as a few other individuals. And it's essentially a very rare thing to find in our world because it's a lab where people love lifting and they are actively conducting research on all the things we care about. So like a study on supersets, which you wouldn't, traditionally see in many universities that have a master's program. Obviously, there's still other people that do this kind of research, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's it. Group of people that love lifting, excellent researchers, and it's essentially like in academia, you have different labs and they have names, and that's the name for this lab.
Okay. Now I understand it better. Tommy and I both desperately wanted to ask you about something in particular.
Let's go.
So when we saw you was at the Arnold, that's when we got to meet you there. And at the Arnold, you were helping, translating with Grizzly. Kind of want to know everything about that, like how that came to be and what that experience was like and how that was like his first experience in America through your mouth, basically, as the translator. How did that come to be, and how? Give us any insight on that is welcome here.
Yeah, Grizzly is an actual friend of mine. I speak to Grizzly on the phone multiple times per week, usually at these hours because he works security for essentially a factory, and he works graveyard shifts. So we video call multiple times per week, every week, with very little exceptions. Grizzly is like an actual an actual person I have.
And were you guys, was that all spurred like from the Arnold, or like were you doing that before the Arnold even?
So the timeline is like this. I knew a guy that knew Grizzly, and I wanted to go and shoot a video there and meet him because I've been following Grizzly since 2013.
Oh, wow.
So I was part of a group on Facebook called Roids and Feels. Shout out. No, no. So this was a group of like Greeks, like the 30 Greeks that were into strength training, Mark Ripito, all that jazz, and like science as well. And we were following Grizzly. Like that group was following him when nobody else in the world knew. I was watching videos of Grizzly in my living room as a university student.
So it's kind of like when you're into music that's cool before other people even know about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have proof for it, but it's one of those points like where I make it and the other person's like, okay, bro, congratulations.
No, I like that.
So I get in touch
cool.
with that guy. Yo, can you get me in touch with Grizzly? We speak on the phone. Can I come by and shoot a video? Can I come by? I'm from Athens. Grizzly is a 7-hour drive from Athens.
Okay.
We go. We had spoken on the phone a couple of times. We meet in person. Obviously, if you know, like I knew Grizzly's background. So Grizzly's not just a strength athlete. Grizzly's somebody who was a bouncer / bodyguard / guy you don't mess around with.
That checks out. That seems that passes
Seems like
the vibe
exactly
check.
what it should be.
We had heard stories like obviously it comes with those sorts of professions, but I knew of Grizzly as the guy that does the weird lifts. But because I am Greek, I was also understanding all the meme phrases like for the difficult. That was him essentially taking a Greek phrase that means I do something to prepare for difficult things ahead. But if you throw it in Google Translate, it gives you the literal translation, which is like a joke. You get me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I could see that the guy is just some Greek guy from a small town who hasn't really understood exactly what's going on. But when I met him, I realized that he was much more self-aware than people may think in terms of the memes. Like he gets it now. But the crazy thing with Grizzly is that over the years, even though it started a bit as a meme, like serious athletes, like especially like Strongman and like old school Russian athletes, like my brain froze. Whatever. Now I want to remember it. What's his name? Classics powerlifter. No, not Koklayev.
Oh,
he was also a weightlifter.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it Mikhail Koklayev?
Yeah. So like he started paying attention and people realized that, he's doing weird things, but even the things that he's doing, the amount of weight he's shifting is crazy. Anyways, and then we go to talking, video call here, video call there. Started speaking with Omar about the possibility of a collab. Threw the idea to him. At the beginning, he was a bit hesitant because he's learned to be like that from his line of work, which fair enough. But fast forward, he liked the idea. We came to the US and it was a huge trip for him. Huge, as in like he's left Greece before, but to go to the US weighing also 440 and it was his first ever public appearance in terms of like official public appearance. Because he never leaves, like very rarely leaves his town. So he doesn't even go to the nearest big town for people to like recognize him and stuff. They still recognize him in his town, but that's very calm and it's in his environment. So all of a sudden he goes from Kavala in Greece to London, Gatwick in the UK to Southampton where I live. People recognizing him at the airports and stuff. And then from there to whatever, we flew and then to Columbus, and all of a sudden he's in Columbus, Ohio, completely obscene, being recognized and having lines of people wanting to meet him. He really appreciated it. I think he's a genuine guy as well.
Yeah. Was it at all over? I mean, I know you said he kind of got it. But did he get how, like, did he understand the kind of reception he was going to get at the Arnold? I mean, he was like, generally speaking, out of everyone that was at the Arnold, I think he was one of the most popular people there. Like outside of like Arnold and I mean, if you lined up Grizzly and Ronnie Coleman and whoever you want to. I think people were as excited about seeing Grizzly as possibly anyone there.
He got it for sure. And he got it because he didn't only just see the line, which he was like, wow, look at the line. We did it.
Yeah.
Also, people like Ed Cohen came up to him.
Right.
Or somebody like Grizzly, and for us as well. Like for the Greek, because Greeks, keep in mind, are even further away from whatever happens in America than us in the UK now. So like things seem mythical. Ed Cohen to like the few
Yeah.
Greeks that follow powerlifting is like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know,
right,
for us here, like we could fly over for the Olympia Expo and meet him, you know?
Yeah.
So when Ed Cohen came up to Grizzly, just to say hello to Grizzly, like Grizzly was like, wow, Ed Cohen came. And other people came as well. He obviously saw Mitchell Hooper,
yeah.
Juji Mufu, who he
Yeah.
has a lot of love for. And yeah, it was extremely wholesome. But obviously, like a big challenge for him. And we chilled quite a bit because I had a few friends with me. I brought a crew and a few one Greek friend in particular as well. And it was fun times. It was fun times. At the after party at the hotel reception, we had a little lounge there, so we would chill there till late. And yeah, it was a wholesome trip.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking how to ask this. Is I don't need details, but like, is Grizzly married? I'm just curious. Like,
No, he's not.
okay. Did like the women love Grizzly too? Like, was probably just as many women there that wanted to get pictures with him as men.
Yeah. There was people of all kinds, lifters, like huge lifters, women,
Right.
random ladies.
Right. It's fun.
That warm American welcome.
Yeah.
It was nice, man. The funny thing is that Grizzly is very like, how should I say it? He's not the most flexible dieter, if that makes sense. He's very peculiar with his food. So he mostly had McDonald's from the US, with the exception of like a restaurant. So he didn't get to try a lot of the American foods. That's it. Fun fact. I
So
don't know.
what does he like? What does he like to eat then? Like, what is his?
He's not like, because you see his size obviously, and you assume here comes and it's just a lot of calories from relatively low volume foods that
Yeah.
he just has in larger quantities. So he'll have 2 pizzas or something,
All right,
you know?
okay.
But like even at his size, people overestimate the amount of calories you need.
Right.
Even at Grizzly size, if you eat 5,000, 4,000 calories every day, you'll keep gaining weight. But to be fair, he is pretty active, so he probably needs a bit more than that, but still nothing too insane. You know, you see these videos,
10,000
Eddie Hall,
calories a day.
15,000. It's like, bro,
Will he
stop the cap.
Yeah. Will he be talked into the trip again?
If the opportunity arose,
Yeah.
for sure. It was a bit. It's a bit of a, because he's at his heaviest now, and like being 440 and walking around and going from like it takes its toll. But I think he'd be up for it. Yeah. What I've tried to pursue him to do is like everybody's telling him to do arm wrestling, but because he has ripped his biceps, his tricep actually, and he has a few injuries, he's like, I don't want to risk it, which fair enough, I get. But I was like, bro, celebrity boxing, Eddie Hall.
Oh boy, yeah.
You've got the experience. You lose a bit of weight just to be a bit more like, because if you see him fight, that's a thing he doesn't get a lot of respect for. He spars with professional kickboxers that are like professional, actually kickboxers that are ranked. Like he's pretty tough. And if you see his handwork for how heavy he is, when he hits the heavy, like super heavy bag, it's like those who know can tell you that, yeah, it's not perfect, but for his size, it's legit.
Yeah.
That would be great, though.
Yeah,
Break the
that's a
internet.
cool idea.
Mike Tyson versus
Grizzly.
Grizzly. But in a few years, when Mike Tyson's like 89.
Yeah.
Roll him in, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Have you been, had you been to the Arnold in prior years to that? Or?
I've been to expos here in the UK, the Body Power and the Arnold UK.
Yeah.
But expos, smexpos. Like back in the day was like, I don't know if it was because we were younger and we were like, well, let's go see Kai Green, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas now it was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, look, it's that guy.
Let's get
Oh,
away from
nice.
people for a while. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's lost the oomph, if that makes sense. Because I was like Arnold like I've idolized America for years, so the expectations with everything America related have been flying cars. Meanwhile,
You've been let
IRS
down. Yeah.
sent us a check and physical facts in 2024. But anyways, yeah. So I came to the Arnold and I was like, whoa, it's gonna be roller coasters and explosions and
Yeah.
oh, okay, it was an expo. Nice.
Yeah. Right. Right.
The
That
best
seems
thing
about
though,
right.
as a European, was obviously like we don't have guns here, and I think it was open carry in Columbus, right?
It might
probably.
be. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ohio. I guess I could see either way. I don't even know. Yeah.
Anyways, so heavy police presence at the venue, fair enough. Whatever, it makes sense. You know, people can have guns. There's other people with guns, but then there was zero. Like we were entering the expo just from the back. Nobody asked us anything, so it was like, oh, extra protection, but no extra protection. And I was like, guys, like, especially Grizzly, it's like you see that guy just walking in, and you noticed him. Like, who is this random guy just walking through the back?
Right.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
like,
fun.
oh yeah, if you want trouble, don't go through the front door, but the back door is wide open.
Yeah. That's what I tell my wife. What about Grizzly's unconventional training? I'm wondering for yourself personally, is there anything, being around him, talking with him, is there anything you have pulled from what he does, maybe that you've implemented in your training, whether it's particular lifts or just like any ideas that maybe you wouldn't have been coming across if not for being around some of his far more unconventional stuff that he's doing? Anything that you've ever implemented yourself?
Not really, because like most of the videos you see are old videos now. The main thing he does now, which I don't like, is the prowler, which is not a prowler.
That
It's,
giant sled that he stacks the weights to the ceiling on. Yeah.
The sled numbers are ridiculous, though. The issue with that piece of equipment, which he loves, and it's the most of his training is this, is that it doesn't look impressive on video. Like,
right.
And it's not like a click sort of clickbaity or attractive thing for people to watch. So it's like, oh, whatever, he's pushing some sled, it looks heavy, whatever. But in reality, when we did that in person, we did like 200 kilos, 440 pounds back and forth. It was insane. His stamina was insane, and he can push nearly 1,000 kilos on that. But yeah, that's mostly what he does, and most of his training is him working around his injuries, which is also questionable because he then does a lot of weight, but it works for him. So it's things that, like for me to set up a Zercher thing to just train my traps and feel a lot of weight here, not really the most time efficient exercise.
Yeah. So,
but the mentality,
really
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That sled, that cannot be what that thing was originally. That looks like a piece of like scaffolding that someone just like.
That's it.
Okay.
That's what it is. He told the guy, build me a thing. And he built him a thing. There's no like friction adjustments or whatever. It's
Right.
Metal on concrete. It's great.
That's what
so
it is.
It is what it looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
So yeah, people don't realize, but they don't realize how hard that is.
All right. How about switching gears a little bit? Curious what you've learned, whether it's training in the gym or maybe it's like from your own YouTube channel or anything related to that. With Dr. Mike, have you been able to pull much from him that you've been able to, improve what you've got going on yourself based on things you've learned with experiences with him?
Yeah. So I've been following Mike for a while, and he funded my PhD. Not really, it was like a donation for the PhD. He didn't pay for the tuition fees and stuff. So I've been around RP for a while, I've learned a lot from them, but I couldn't pinpoint one thing in particular. Mostly, I guess training a bit more meticulously, like the concept that Renaissance periodization brought to the scene, which was scientific training, and then taking that and because I was studying the science as well myself, essentially taking the concept and applying it with my own knowledge. The worst response ever, but I wish I could tell you a slow eccentrics or
Right,
the stretch or whatever.
Yeah.
How about even
I
on
was
like
thinking of something inappropriate, but I couldn't come up with it.
how about even on the YouTube side of things? Because you do seem to
For
have
sure.
like some really good traction going on your YouTube. And I don't know, like Mike, obviously they're, killing it on their YouTube. Like has you learned any lessons from them on that side?
Yeah, for sure. Mike is an excellent on a camera ready person. I consider myself to be relatively camera ready with a long way to go for like, oh, that guy's mainstream now. But in terms of the average person, I think I'm pretty like, oh, you can put a camera on me and I can freestyle my way and find something to say and make it relatively entertaining. Mike has that to the next level because we filmed a lot with Mike and you can just turn on the camera and he can just go. The main thing I guess I've learned is that you don't necessarily need to go overboard with every video in terms of preparation and like because as scientists we sometimes like our brains work in a way where they prevent us from like giving practical recommendations that may be based more on like our coaching and personal experience, especially in areas where there's not really much scientific evidence. So there's always caveats and terms and conditions, and let me mention this, and let me open another bracket, and let me explain that. And like at the end, the person there's like, well, just fucking tell me what I need to do. I don't care. Like 3 reps or 5 reps.
Yeah.
So watching Mike do his thing, I've sort of changed that for some of my videos that are intended for a Gen Pop audience. The average lifter who's like, I don't care about the nuance, man. Just give me some relatively solid advice that I can easily understand and whatever. I'll go elsewhere whenever I feel like I need the nuance.
That makes sense. Stronger by Science podcast is over now, correct? It was the final episode, just came out like last week. I've listened to most of it, I think. How's that feel?
It's an emotional, bittersweet end. SBS podcast and SBS in general, and I'm not ass kissing. Just because I am part of the team. Way before I was part of the team, I used to follow SBS and learned a lot from SBS, especially the podcast, but also Mass Research Review and the website itself, the content that Greg was putting out, then Greg and Trex, and yada yada yada. So being part of the podcast, super cool achievement. But I do think that it reached a point where it didn't make sense from a time investment requirement, commitment, and how podcasts in general are doing. There's so much information coming out, and things have become a bit more. Obviously, there's still people that listen to podcasts, but with YouTube being there and being a much easier medium for you to convey information in a much more concise way and in a much more engaging way, it doesn't make sense to place focus on the podcast because like we were doing it properly. Like it was 40-page outline with a bunch of references.
Right.
For like we had 2 episodes, it was one episode split into on volume, which was 8 hours long of us yapping there about the literature. Like it was pretty. It was held to a very high standard. It was less conversational. Like, well, let's jump
Right.
on and yap about some random stuff and call it a day.
We're familiar with that format.
Yes.
I can tell. which is great sometimes because like like podcasts I remember at the beginning or many of the podcasts that I listened to were more of this format versus essentially like a more chill lecture. You get me?
Mhm. Right. So it sounds like you probably aren't gonna feel like you need to fill that void specifically with more podcasting. You focus more of that attention on YouTube and other things then for that same time commitment.
Yeah. We're also, and by we I mean myself and Milo. Shout out Milo Wolf, real wolf, actual wolf. We're working on an app and I know everybody and their cousin has an app. I'm sure both of you have 3 apps yourselves each.
I've made one since we've been podcasting it already.
Yeah, we made a couple just in our spare time here tonight. Yeah.
So we've been working on that app for like 3 to 4 years now, and that's going on the side, as some would say, while also placing a lot of focus on our YouTube channels and specifically building now a space, which is going to be a gym / filming studio that we will have only for ourselves. So in a few days, we get the equipment delivery, which is going to be a very exciting time because it's like a dream come true, you know, like your own gym.
So where's that
And-
going at then? Where's that facility going to be?
It's at beep number beep. Then no, it's here nearby.
Okay. Okay.
But so, like, will that be open to
UK.
the public, or is this going to be a private gym that?
It will be a private gym.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be like, guys, you are used to American sizes. You're imagining now land. We're talking 2,000 square feet.
Oh, that's enough though to be able, I mean, that's enough to be able to do some serious
good
training.
time.
That's enough. 1 or 2,000 square feet is enough to make a serious gym though.
Yeah, we've ordered a really a cool amount. We have ordered quite a bit of really cool equipment.
What
and it's all-
brands? What brands of equipment? Can you talk about any of that?
And I am not sure.
Okay.
So like not brands that I think
That's what I
mostly UK
wondered
based
if-
brands.
Yeah, that's what I like. ATX is a company we met there. Where was ATX out of, Tommy?
Oh boy, I cannot remember.
Were they German?
Yes, I think so. Flow was the Florian Flow. Was
Yeah.
I think they were German.
I just wondered if we were at Home Gym Con earlier this year. There's a lot of equipment manufacturers there. There was a few European-based companies, and that's why I was just curious if you're being there, you're probably not sourcing a whole bunch of rogue equipment and that sort of thing. So it'd be other
Nothing
brands,
from the
yeah.
US. It's all
Right.
from here. It's a
Right.
company called Primo.
Okay,
Not
not
Prime.
Primal,
Not Prime.
yeah,
Primo.
not
Yeah.
the green Prime, yeah.
Not the green Prime, no. Really cool equipment. Lots of stuff that would I guess be kind of similar. I guess whatever I've seen from the preview pictures to some hammer strength equipment, some of the
Okay.
new lines.
Yep.
Because I train at a gym that is brand new here in Southampton, and they have the new hammer strength, like to support a T-bar row, for example. We have something similar.
Okay.
A lot of cool equipment, but we're getting it new, and it's like Christmas coming early. Can I say
Yeah.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
There, fair. Thank you.
Yeah, we won't bleep that out. No, yeah.
So yeah, like it's the first time. The closest thing I've come to owning equipment was during lockdown, where I had three barbells in here in this tiny office and 400 kilos of weight, and I did all my training right here. You see where the radiator is? I was
Yeah.
right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Getting
That's
it
awesome.
done.
Yeah.
Okay. Tommy, what do you think about overrated, underrated?
Let's do it.
All right, Dr. Pack, we've got a special game for you. Well, it's special that it's catered to you, but not special that it's just for you. We play this game with every guest that's on our podcast, but we do have a very hand-picked Dr. Pack set of topics. It's your job to decide if each one is overrated or underrated. The important thing is to know that you cannot ride the line. You have to definitively land on one side or the other. And you get to use your druthers to elaborate as much or as little as you would like. And we've kept this pretty non-political, non-religious till now, other than that Christmas reference. But now is where we get really political and religious. So buckle in. It gets serious here. Overrated or underrated, minimum effective dose.
Underrated. You want me to elaborate and yap now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
let's hear your thoughts on
We'd
it.
appreciate a little bit of yapping.
I think it's underrated because a lot of people still treat the concept more as a backup for that one time when they don't have enough time, or sort of regarded more as like it's for beginners or like non-serious lifters, when in reality doing the least you need in order to get a meaningful response either for strength or hypertrophy. Top concept, and I think it's the concept that will allow you to lift forever if you have that in your brain ingrained there. When you're like 50 and you have a family and obligations, and maybe the love for 2-hour sessions has gone, which makes sense. having that concept there, being like, okay, cool. It's my 1 out of 3 30-minute sessions this week. Gonna get it in. Gains are gonna still be there. You might make some additional gains. Happy days. Wow.
And so was that what your doctorate was about?
Yes. Specific. Yes. I don't know why I said it like that. Yes. On on power lifters specifically.
Okay.
So what is the research? I mean, what does the process even look like for going to? I mean, that's something that's so outside of my experience in any way that I don't even know what that process looks like.
What was you said the research methods?
Yeah, I mean, like, what is, like, I mean, how long?
Where are you getting these power lifters?
Yeah, how are you getting the power lifters? Like, how long is the study being conducted? Like, just in general, what does that process look like?
Sure. So keep in mind that we had that bit of funding from Dr. Mike, and the PhD took about
he sold a Lamborghini to cover it. Yeah.
It was Lamborghinis. It was multiple. At some point, he was bringing them in with a helicopter and just dropping them outside, hitting civilians.
He sex trafficked a butler to cover the bill.
Allegedly, objection, hearsay. I do not condone any statements made by Massenomics. There we go. And this is legal and medical advice. So 3.5 years, and we managed to only recruit 32 powerlifters. In 3.5 years, because powerlifters are like, you tell a powerlifter, hey, come do this ultra low volume program and let's see what will happen in 2 months.
Right,
Like,
right.
But we had the pleasure, and I think you'll appreciate the culture points here. So back in the day, I used to, whenever I would go to Greece, I would train at the Olympic weightlifting hall at the Olympic Stadium, where a lot of the names you've heard have trained historically. And in that hall, which, no water coolers, no air conditioning, like no water, legit, no fountains, no nothing, just bars and Eleiko and Ivanko bumpers. So we had a powerlifting team, about like 20 people, maybe a bit more. And there was a guy, shout out to him, Panayotis Kolokotronis, I have to shout him out. Maybe he's listening. Who is
I'm sure
musician.
he is. Yes, he's listening.
He's right outside your house.
We're big in Greece, so yeah.
But he is in the culture. That's why I'm saying it. Like, he's the type of guy that may actually tune in, and he essentially was the coach of the team there. And I was like, we were friends, and I would train there as well whenever I went. And I was like, look, this is a rare chance, because he was coaching them for free as a hobby. I was like, this is a rare chance to take these lifters and have them follow some form of controlled program and explore something and do a study. That wasn't part of my PhD then. So we did a study for 10 weeks where they prepped for Greek IPF nationals, following either a traditional powerlifting program with like a typical like high volume, a bunch of weeks out of the meet, lower volume and higher loads as they approach, like very classic powerlifting program. Versus just doing a single repetition, 2 times a week for the squat, 3 times a week for the bench, and once a week for the deadlift. So, and we did that as a pilot study. Only like 8 people took part, so it wasn't like it was like a full pilot study, And based off that, I got the idea for the minimum dose PhD. And then, because I knew that it would be difficult to recruit power lifters, but thankfully, being a coach myself, being involved in the sport myself, and having some online presence helped. But what came in clutch was the idea to do interviews with coaches and athletes. So we interviewed like elite powerlifters, all-time record holders, and coaches that had worked with thousands of, like hundreds of champions for sure. So essentially, in the end, what we did is we triangulated all that data to see if it sort of supported each other and what putting it all together actually gave us versus just looking at the training studies. But the training studies were 6 to 10 weeks, and we recruited relatively strong for the literature powerlifters.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. Overrated or underrated? Papi Chulos. Papi.
I know what Papi Chulo is. That's my second name. That's what I call my cat, Chulo. That's what I call random people as well when they don't hear me in the gym. Yo, Papi.
Yeah.
How many
What-
sets do you have left?
What is the translation on Papi Chulos?
It's Pim Daddy. That's the translation,
Okay.
right? Or
I
is it a
don't know for
product?
sure. Yeah, no, we didn't actually know for sure. You at the Arnold you mentioned, well, we heard that come out of your mouth once was Papi Chulo. Yeah.
So I was probably talking about somebody there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
describing him as a Papi Chulo. How can it be underrated or overrated? Underrated, I guess. I don't know.
So is that
Respect.
like a UK thing or is that just a you thing?
It's a me thing.
Okay. Okay.
It's a US thing, if anything, like a US sort of Latin community thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Or
So you lied to us. You speak another language also.
I'm a proficient Spanish speaker.
Yeah.
Crazy how you remember that. I have a lot of like random phrases and things that I say, but extreme how that stayed with you and how you remember it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep it in the permanent bank. We never know when we're going to get you on the be able to get you on the podcast. And
Yeah,
bust
your
some of
brain
this
there.
stuff in.
Yep, got that on file, but like missing out.
Save that
Like,
one.
did I pay tax this year? Whatever.
Yeah.
Remember that
We
thing
don't
that
know.
guy said?
Do I
once?
even know how to pay my taxes? No, not really. It works out every
Remember
year.
he said
That's
Papi
fine.
Chulo that one time.
Tax stand for?
Yeah.
What is DAX? What is that?
So, are you familiar with the American Thanksgiving holiday? It's coming up the week that this comes out. I don't know if you've ever been stateside during Thanksgiving before. Okay, that's fine. But are you somewhat familiar with the typical Thanksgiving meal?
Yes.
Yeah. So, overrated or underrated Thanksgiving turkey, or turkey generally speaking, but Thanksgiving turkey more specifically.
For me personally, overrated. I'm not a huge fan of. I'm a weirdo with like senses and smells, and turkey sometimes hits me weird. Same
Turkey
with
is this
pork.
weird smell sometimes too. It's
Right?
It's unique. I think at the very least, it's unique.
Yeah, turkey, duck, and pork, and lamb and goat is the list everything. But like, there's certain meats that sometimes, amazing. Like I'll have slices of turkey all the time, but Thanksgiving turkey, whatever, overrated. Because like there's all this hype, turkey, wow, and it's like, okay,
Correct.
well, lean protein, and yeah, if you dump a bunch of shit on it and sort of chug it down, whatever, yeah. But like, it's not, whoa, we get to eat this magical food.
Yeah, Tommy, it is. I mean, it is overrated, right, Tommy?
Yeah, it's what you said. You gotta
Like, by
you gotta
definition,
just
yeah.
like smother it in gravy and potatoes and some stuff. Like you got to make the whole like just mash out of it, and then it's good.
I mean, the meal is good. The meal is great, but
Yeah. The meal is
specifically,
great,
it is
yeah.
overrated too. To be fair, it is overrated, right?
Yes.
Thanksgiving has been canceled, my fellow Americans. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Let me
Okay.
ask you let me
Yeah.
ask you a quick one about a food. Fairlife chocolate milk. Overrated or
That's
underrated?
rated quite highly around here, especially within the lifting community. Here's my take on this, whether it's overrated. Okay, I'll say it is good. I like Fairlife chocolate milk. I think it's fine. I'm not all that picky. It's good. I think it's overrated because it's got a lot of hype around it, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess it's got a little less sugar, which is probably a positive and stuff like that. But for the most part, if I want a little chocolate milk, I'll just have whatever kind is around, whether it's Fairlife or not. So I think it's good. I like it. I would be a consumer, but I still think it's a little bit overrated.
And I would agree with that. Everything Tanner said there, and just that one. If you were to say any product that's like milk based that is being marketed and has hype, I mean that's the top of the list right there. So I think by its very nature, that means it is overrated.
I'm a guest, so I have to be, polite. And it's a free country, I guess.
So we take it that you're a fan then.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, but like we
So-
don't get it here, so you got.
That's what I was going to
okay,
ask.
so
So you
it's-
don't have it in
alright.
the UK.
See, that's part of it too.
right.
Yeah.
That is
I'd be
part of it.
sick
We
of
can
it.
walk down to
It's
the.
every store in the
Yeah.
any store you walk into
Right.
has it. So it's just
Fair
everywhere.
enough.
It's kind of
I-
expensive, relative to its maybe lesser competitors. It's kind of expensive.
You guys have the UK is solid in terms of food selection. You get obviously the basics plus a wide range, but then you guys it's not a wide range. It's like somebody just sat and generated random products and they made them range. you know?
Yeah.
It's
it is.
wild. It's
It
the
is.
best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, we have one left here. Well, we're just going to do two because just something came to me that I really feel like we can't miss out on here as long as we're on the food topic. So overrated or underrated beans on toast?
Overrated, of course.
It's disgusting.
No offense. I've got the British flag here. It's not disgusting. It's the
It's probably not just actually I would eat it it's probably just fine, but
it's the food.
Are
you guys in relationships, married?
Yes. Yes, we both not to each other, but we both have wives. Yes.
We
each have one wife.
I cannot say that was the direction I was going or the opposite because hey, nice try, Matrix. I just asked a general question, left it with you, made your own assumptions. Fair enough. So it's the food that I'll speak for myself now to be cool. Like when my wife is not here because she likes to cook, so she cooks and she's a top cook. Where I'm like, okay, time to just combine single foods now and make up the macros and get fiber and vitamins in. Beans, blueberries, toast, empty tortilla wrap. Cool. We're Gucci. Like beans on toast is that level of meal. Like once I had beans with crisps, I was like, and rice. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
We're hungry. That's what's there.
If I'm being really fair and honest about it, if I would have grew up and lived in the UK, I bet beans on toast is probably something
that'd be your comfort food, Tanner.
I would guess
Tanner's comfort food is like macaroni and cheese and hot dogs, but
right.
Across the pond, you'd have been beans and toast.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are levels above that. Like
take
hot
fat.
dogs.
Yeah, we take fat to a different level. Yeah,
it's blast, man. Best shit ever. Honestly.
Okay. Last one here. This is worth all the marbles. Overrated or underrated? Breathe Right nasal strips.
Overrated for sure. I am addicted to nasal spray. It's
nasal spray.
Like Flonase or
so the main ingredient in this one is metazoline, whatever. It's not the one with cortisone.
Okay.
But long story short, made the classic rookie mistake. Nose was clogged. Get the spray. Don't use it for over 7 days. One extra day. What's the harm? A few years later, we're still here. So I started laying off of it now because it's a tedious process because your nose will have to be somewhat clogged for a bit, and it's the worst thing ever, especially with how much I communicate every day on calls and stuff. And part of it is just putting the strip on because it opens my nose and it makes me use it less. But all of a sudden, it just so happened, the moment I decided to do that, the nasal strips are a thing. So I'm now obviously lumped in with everybody else that's, I don't know what way they're using to breathe properly. Like, breathing is not that deep, bro. Just fucking breathe unless you have a broken nose or something. Like, it's okay.
Right.
But they do help. Like, it's surprising. Like, when you put them on, you're like, oh.
It does a little bit,
What the hell? That works.
I keep them in my back pocket for bedtime, like when I'm like, nah, I need a little, I need an ace in the hole tonight. I can tell tonight's going to be a difficult night's sleep. I need that Breathe Right strip to like really like, it's like when you're squatting and you're like, nope, now it's time to put on the belt. Like I put the 4th plate on the 3rd plate or 5th plate, whatever it is. Now I got the knee sleeves and the belt and the shoes. That's like what the Breathe Right strip is, like one more level for a good night's sleep or something.
I agree with your strategy.
Yeah. Okay. Great news. It looks like you passed overrated, underrated. So congratulations.
Let's go.
It's a big achievement.
Thank you. It would be nice if you sent me like a full-on diploma, did a graduation ceremony, and like took the piss with the expenses for the joke that nobody would remember, and like went over the top with like just taking it too long, like flying me out.
Yeah, don't put any of that past us.
Well, it's got to get through customs first, so we'll just see how it might get hung up there. We don't know.
Yeah. I ordered a bar once. I paid the price of the bar for the bar to be sent. just because of the customs.
What kind of the bar was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, of course I remember. What bar do you think it was? You have 3
Texas
guesses.
Power Bar.
No, wait. Keep in mind, UK, we're pretty advanced with gyms. Like in my city alone, we have multiple powerlifting gyms. So like Ohio, Rogue, the classic bars exist and many specialty bars.
Okay.
But there was one bar that came out from a particular US company
Kabuki,
made their rounds.
The Kabuki
Transformer Bar or Kabuki.
No. Is it the New Gen Power Bar or the Deadlift Bar?
The Deadlift Bar. It was the Kabuki Deadlift Bar when it came out.
Okay.
Well, so do you actually have it in
now
your
it's a
possession
collector's
still?
item.
I've lent it to the Greek powerlifting federation, one of the federations in Greece, and they use it for competitions.
Well,
I have another deadlift bar, a
well,
strength chop one.
Well, you don't want to let the Kabuki go because that is no
Yeah.
more. That's the one of a kind now. They're not making them anymore.
It's in Greece and it's being used for good.
Yeah, as long as you know
for
where
good
it's
reason. Yeah, for sure, of course. It's with the great friend and powerlifting enthusiast.
Okay. Where, we were talking about your YouTube channel. What is it on YouTube? Is it Dr. Pack? I mean, that's what I looked up, but I'm not sure.
That's it.
Yeah,
PR.
Dr. Pack on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think are you Dr. Pack on Instagram? There's maybe some underscores or something in there too.
There's some underscores because like there's Dr. Pack without any underscores, DRPAK and DR.PAK, both inactive accounts. And I've
nice.
messaged them and been like,
Yeah.
yo, bro, could I have that? And they've been like, nope. Like they haven't responded, obviously. So I had to go with double underscore. Absolute disgrace of a username. But that's me.
That is not ideal to have to go the double underscore, but
Double
I guess
underscore.
that's rough.
Yikes.
But you got to do what you got to do. What about it? You mentioned your app that you'd have coming out. Where else should people find you and follow you, and what else should people check out?
Sign up to be, I said it almost like an ad. So the app is at myadapt.com. You can just go there, put your email, and we'll let you know when the app is out soon. And that's it. Instagram and YouTube are the main places.
Yeah.
All my links are in my Instagram bio. If you want to check out their research, it's all there, like my ResearchGate profile. But I doubt people are now like, what's the ResearchGate profile? Let me read all this.
Oh,
this
you'd be
research.
surprised with our audience there.
Oh,
Big
okay.
research.
Fair
They're
enough.
pretty
ResearchGate?
astute.
Respect. Cool. $50 by the Massenomics team if you read one paper and provide proof. I guess I don't know what I was doing with that joke.
Somehow prove it.
report on it, a summary.
Yeah. and it cannot be AI generated. We'll sniff that AI report.
You have to
out
post it on your
and-
Instagram page of you reciting a summary.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate it. Thank you for staying up even later or earlier or whatever you consider this than normal.
Thank you. It's almost 4:20, by the way. So
Blaze it.
let's Ross it.
Yeah.
It's not 4:20 though. I gotta wait 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, you can't.
I'll
jump
do
the
it
gun.
proper.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, thanks a lot.
We do appreciate this. Was fun. Thanks, man.
Thank you guys.
All right. See you later.
Peace. Hey.
Oh, there's the
There it
hearts.
is.
Peace, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Cool beans.
You know, we don't bust these beans out too often, but those are ceremonial cool beans on toast.
Cool beans on toast. Every once in a while, you get to give out the cool beans
Not
on
too
toast. don't
often
you?
they get the real deal, but he gets the real deal.
I feel like I did overreact. Cool beans on toast isn't disgusting. That's
No,
not
it
true.
just would be like not the first choice for food.
Right.
Like if I need
Right.
the food, a meal with some
I
protein
eat
in it.
things comparable to beans on toast at times.
Yeah, but like if I'm gonna make a meal,
when I comparable, I'm like, I'm not saying it's like almost beans on toast, but it's like about the same level of quality
it's
of foods
legumes
and
on a
stuff,
white on a wheat a wheat patty of some kind.
That's what I meant. It's not that, but like, if at the end of the day you'd be like, is this really better than beans on toast? And it's probably like, no, it's not, but it's just food though, I guess, kind of almost food.
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah. Like it's
Yeah.
wouldn't be like number one on my list though.
No.
If I'm looking for a
no.
protein source.
I mean, it'd be close to the bottom of the list.
I should read an ad here quick before we get too carried
Yeah,
away.
what do you got there?
This episode is
Hit us
also
with your best shot, Pat Benatar.
yeah, here we go, Pat. This episode is also brought to you by Barefoot Shoes. I was just looking, it's not technically at the time of recording Black Friday yet, but I would assume they probably have something going on for Black Friday over there. But in the meantime, since we're recording this right now, they are our favorite barefoot shoes to wear in and out of the gym. The other day, I finally made the switch to decide to rock my Ursus low tops in the gym. I had previously been reserving those for mostly a walk around type shoe, but it made its appearance in the gym. And did I have an amazing deadlift day? Yes. So is that because of it? Probably. And if you'd like to experience that same thing, you can head on over to barefoot.store, pick up a pair of Ursus low tops. Tanner and I both have the black suede with the gum sole. very clean, classic look. But they also have the Ursus available in a high top option. They have the Bruin boots available in a couple different colors. And the Oso slip-on is available as well. So barefoot.store. While you're there, make sure to use code Massenomics, and you can save 10% on your next order. I mean, that's basically Black Friday right there, saving 10% at Barefoot store. So code Massenomics will save you. Thank you, Barefoot Shoes.
This isn't part of that ad specifically, but I would mention last time I said, all the physical therapists asked about my Barefoot shoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like 2 days later, I was there again, and not even my physical therapist, just another lady that was doing PT physical therapy for someone else in there, like from across the room. Like I was doing like, I don't know, clam walks or whatever it was, but we got over by her and she was like, "Hey, what kind of shoes are those?"
Really?
It's like it almost, you would have had to pay someone to like even do that on
They just
command
can't
almost.
not say anything about it. They got it.
Yeah. So I mean, I've given the Barefoot shoes spiel so many times at physical therapy. I'm like, I'm just going to start handing out a card.
Are they familiar with the concept of barefoot shoes though?
They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I get it, like minimalist shoes,"
Okay,
because they're, I suppose being in PT, you're maybe like
more aware of stuff
odds
like
on
that.
more aware of it than an average,
Yeah.
the average population, or it's more interesting to you because you're like, why are you why do you choose to wear shoes like that? I suppose, I suppose that's a thought that goes through PT's head more often than that normal person.
Yeah. That is
But
funny.
I just thought that,
that they just can't stay away.
and I don't take them off. I'm actually in this thing where, because of my the knee thing and then my work schedule and my lifting schedule and my PT schedule, I now just wear the same thing all the time. Not just my shoes, but I wear gym shorts to work.
Oh, you do?
Because I'm like, well, it started because I started going back to work like before I probably should have.
Uh-huh.
But I'm like, but I was so busy there. But I'm like, the only way I'm doing this is I'm going to wear short. I can't jam into a pair of jeans and like, I need to have my leg elevated and like doing all this stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to wear shorts to work. So then I wear them to the gym. And so my daily outfit is I wear Massenomics shorts, my Ursus low top black shoes, work polo, and then like a Massenomics.
You gotta look somewhat official, right?
I actually did change out of my polo for this. Would be like the one time I changed something. But so I wear a work polo. But then when I go to the gym, I'm like, until I'm doing something.
Right. Yeah. You have a bad leg. It's not like you're just like busting a sweat the second you walk in.
So I'm like, I'm just going to continue to wear this. I'm already wearing shorts. I just wear the shorts. I don't even change shoes, and I just wear the polo, and then I go back to work, and then I go to PT. Like I do it all wearing the same exact thing.
I didn't think about that it's like the gym is pretty chill for you right now. Like it's not. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like even like, so my hardest days is I'm doing a hard bench. I'm doing a bench workout, but I'm like, it's laying down bench. Like I'm not squatting and deadlifting. Like that's the thing you get sweaty and tired from, Like I can't do any of the things you get really.
Or anything.
Right. So I just wear the same thing all the time, which is really weird because I'm more used to this. Like it's almost like these specific outfit changes to designate what you're going to be doing then. And now I'm like, nope, I wear the same thing during everything.
You've entered my lifestyle. I just wear the same thing all the time.
Right.
My wife's like, why don't you have other clothes? I'm like, because I don't do other things. This is it.
Have to.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to, but mostly it would be, you don't have to.
It's an amazing luxury over here.
I am wondering, I probably do eventually have to start wearing pants to work again at some point, but
it's a very funny statement to have though.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I do eventually have to start wearing pants to work.
Yes. But because of the nature of me going in there and like I've been working a lot lately because we're really busy, nobody's going to say anything because they're just like, Dude, glad he's here.
Yeah, he's working too hard. We don't care what's on his lower body.
Exactly
you need to go in. You need to go in with those Mike Tyson things that leave your ass exposed, Tanner.
That's
really start pushing the limits and just see how far you can take this.
How about that Netflix, huh?
I actually didn't watch it. I didn't. I'm like, no.
Well, most people didn't watch it.
Well, that's what I hear. Yeah, I'm like, nope. I just can't. I can't be a part of this. I don't care enough, so I had to skip out on it. But it sounded like a lot of people were watching it, though. A lot of the world was tuned in
and caught the first couple fights, and then between Netflix not working and me getting increasingly tired, after a while I'm like, "Yep, I'm going to bed."
So
you didn't
see any of it?
Nope. I suddenly was all of a sudden like, wait a second, I don't care about this. I'm tired.
And that's I'm like, I don't care about boxing anyways. Like,
Yeah.
if I cared about boxing, I'd much rather watch people that are actually like really good at boxing, not 60-year-old men and like a YouTube guy. Like, and there's nothing wrong with it. They
Is
could
Jake
box.
Paul the one that was in the bar with us that time, or was that Logan Paul in Ohio?
Okay, I
have no idea the difference
for
of
real,
them, honestly.
always mix this up. So I just gotta Jake. Yes, Jake
How
Paul.
would you know? What are you referencing that you would know?
I just
that?
have to see a picture of him.
Okay, they look kind of the same though, don't they?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. They do look way more similar than I thought. Okay.
That's why I'm like, what are you going to look at to know which one that was? Because I'm like, because I'm thinking, I actually don't know. Is Jake Paul, but in consensus, the most famous, or are they both equally famous? Or
I actually don't know the answer.
I
to this
might have went
question
a
now.
period of time without knowing that there was two of them.
Because now that I look at this, Logan Paul, I kind of just thought Logan Paul was Jake Paul, but he grew out a beard. I kind of, for whatever reason, I thought like one of them had like really dark hair and looked a lot different. So I'm very mixed up now, actually.
So which one do you think it was?
I actually don't. Well, here, this will be a better gauge.
When I'm even Googling the pictures of the two of them, I don't even know who's who in the pictures.
Oh, okay.
Does
I see
Logan
this.
Paul also do stupid like celebrity boxing?
No, I think he's isn't he in the WWE? Or it says professional wrestler, so I don't know if he's. I think it was Logan Paul in the bar because when I look at photos of Jake Paul pre-beard, because I don't think the guy at the bar had a beard, and when I look at Jake Paul pre-beard, I'm like, yeah, it definitely was not that guy. But
Okay.
But then again, wasn't he there for like the slap boxing thing?
Yeah, which guy was the slap boxing guy?
So this is where I'm probably wrong. Let's see. Slap boxing. Boy, this is not actually clearing up at all.
No.
Yeah, this is this picture here. When I do Logan Paul slap boxing, there's a picture of Logan Paul and Arnold together. So it's got to be.
So you
Logan
think it
Paul.
was Logan Paul?
Pretty sure, yes. Pretty
That's crazy.
sure.
I don't know that. I don't really understand the difference.
I know. It was one of those things where I think I just missed them. We're just a little too old. If we were 5 to 10 years younger, I think. I mean,
we'd know in
by the
detail
numbers
the
here, they
difference of
play a
the
much
two.
larger part of your life if you're a younger person. All these people know who like grew up with these guys, I think, through YouTube and all that. But we were just old enough that we didn't grow up with them.
Old enough to know better, but still too young to care, I think is the phrase.
That's exactly where this applies.
I think that semi-applies here. Did you see the Strongman drama?
Well, I didn't, but then I saw you put this in
are
there,
you-
so I had to do a little digging to get to the bottom of this
Yeah.
one. So I'm just briefly aware now of what may have taken place.
So what'd you see? Anything in particular?
Well,
or-
so you put Luke Stoltman in the list here, so I had to Google around, and apparently he was, according to his wife, cheating on her with women and men. Is what it sounds like.
That's what the claim was, and like maybe not being a good father, and
Yeah, like what did
You
she
know.
say? Was there like the birth of some
I mean,
child?
obviously that stuff would go in hand with not being a good father. but-
Right. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. That's for sure.
He was sleeping around with other men and women and not being a good father on top of it.
What? No. And he was being a bad dad.
How could that be given the rest of the things you previously stated?
What in the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the claim, I guess. So, and I think there was maybe some assumptions or connotations that some of the men could have been other strongmen competitors.
Oh, really? There was
I
the
don't know.
implication, huh?
I think there was some implication there. I'm not sure. I actually don't know well enough, but that's what I picked up on.
Okay.
Maybe some of the other strongmen had to say, like, I was not doing
there was some
lewd acts with Luke Stoltman. I don't know,
there was some people that had to clear the air.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't totally okay. Which, to be clear here, Tanner and I don't care if you're gay. That's totally fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
You
that.
can be gay with whoever you want. We don't care one bit.
Well,
but-
unless you're married with kids and your
but
wife doesn't want you to be doing that.
When it comes to
then
being a
don't do
bad
that.
dad, that's where we draw the
Yeah,
line here.
yeah. You can be plenty gay as long as you're a good dad.
Yeah, just think about the kids, man. That's what we always say.
So that's it. I figured that might be something fun for us to tiptoe around. Something that
we'll keep an eye on.
A serious issue and a lot of drama that we know almost next to nothing about that we could bring up on our podcast.
We'll keep an eye on TMZ. I'm sure they'll have the reports of everything going on here.
Yes, exactly. We should probably do the song follow up. I see you put song follow up.
And lots of just great commentary in the Discord about both songs. Okay, did you?
Yeah, and then I'm like, wait a second, I know the song.
Oh, you do?
I just didn't know what it was called, or because I know that phrase, in the year 2525, if man was still alive. Is that the song, or is that a different one?
That is not the song.
Oh, what was that song? I might have gotten confused with the songs that other people were putting in there then at that point.
Because people were putting other songs in there.
That's in like
a different one.
Okay, because I started I listened to it. I'm like, I don't really feel like I'm getting this. What Tommy's saying about this?
No.
What was that song then?
So the song was supposed to be
to know
Eve of
what
Destruction, but I'm very curious what song you would have listened to now.
Yeah. It's got to be in my search history here.
Oh boy, he's going to the history.
Damn. It's all Nickelback and Matchbox 20 and dang it. No, I'll know. Well, what is the name of that song?
So that one is the Eve of Destruction, and there's
the one that you said.
Yeah, the one that I said you should listen to. There were several interesting things. One, actually, the topic of this brought up a lot of good commentary that we can now prove without a doubt that everybody's football coach was a history teacher. That has now been proven in the Discord.
Yes.
That's what, if you had a football coach, they were a history teacher. We know that now. And learned that there was a counter to the song because this was an anti-war song from like 1965 Vietnam era. Another band, which I was not aware of this, came out with a pro-war version of the song called, what the hell was it now? I got to look it up here. The pro-war version was The Dawn of Correction. So the Eve of Destruction was the one I recommended. The Spokesmen made a rebuttal to the song called The Dawn of Correction. This is like an OG rap beef battle from the 1960s where they basically take the phrasing and most of the lyrics from the song and are kind of offering a rebuttal to everything.
So there was a bit of a rap beef.
There was, yeah, which I thought was really interesting. As the song goes, I will say that just in every way, I think the Eve of Destruction is the far superior song regardless of commentary or anything, but yeah, the Eve of Destruction was a much better song than the Dawn of Correction.
I don't know what I looked it up on. I somehow, because the song I'm talking about is called In the Year 2525, but I know I looked up the Eve of Destruction because I remember seeing Barry Maguire and clicking on it. There almost had to have been something wrong, like does that ever happen in a streaming service where the wrong? Because I know I found Barry Maguire, and In the Year 2525 is by
Exordium and Terminus. I don't know that one.
No, that's like a part of. That's like a parentheses. That's in the name of the.
It
is
the
name of the track. It's like
Zager and Evans.
Yeah,
I don't know who they are either though.
But I knew that song.
I'll have to listen to that.
And it's like not actually way off of what we're talking about here. Like there's some correlation. So maybe someone else brought this song up and I got sidetracked and caught it. I don't know.
Oh, I'm just listening.
So put that on your list. In the Year 2525.
You don't hear this, do you? I have it in my headphones.
No.
Oh, okay. Yes.
You know that.
Yes, I have heard that song. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, still very different. What was funny though is because I had to play Eve of Destruction one more because everyone was talking about it. I'm like, okay, I got to give it one more just clean listen here. And I put it on when I went out to the gym the other day, and then just Spotify instantly is just kind of playing 60s rock.
Yeah.
And it was just,
I noticed that in your,
it was just rolling. Yeah. And, I think it was Big Kim from Barbell Rescue. He commented like, or I think he sent me a DM. He's like, are you on Eve of Destruction Radio? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's just rolling right now. It was good.
Yep. I listen to 60s rock or 70s rock quite a bit in the gym if I'm by myself. I usually don't do it if there's many people in there because I'm like, I don't know that this is everyone's vibe. Mm-hmm. So I will, typically I just let other people control it. So when I say it's by myself, because that's usually when I control it. But that is lately what like literally that's what I'll type in, either 60s rock or 70s rock. And I don't like all the tracks for lifting, but I found like
Yes.
every other one or so is in the.
And that
in
is
the
it. Some
ballpark
of it's
what I'm
like,
after.
oh, okay, like this song actually just sucks. Like the song is not good. And then you're like, okay, this song has been just played so many times that it's also
Yes.
played out and it's not good. But there's also a lot
Yes.
of bangers in there too. There's a lot of classics.
Yeah. Like, so did you listen to The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
I did, yes. And just, I mean,
yeah.
great song, classic.
It's a banger.
Did you get the impression? Was there some people that were maybe not familiar with that after our last?
That's possible. I hope they are by now.
Does it inspire you to want to go on a little vacation to Duluth this summer or
Yes.
this winter? Dude, have you
Next
ever been
year
up
is
there
the
before?
50th year. Yeah, I have been to Duluth, but not since I was like with my parents. Going to
Oh,
Duluth.
dude.
I could
okay.
be like taking our kids.
Last time I went was probably
That's on our list, anyways. So
Yeah, last time I
that
went,
even makes even more so now.
yes. Oh, I went a little over 10 years ago, and I'm like, this is so cool up here. This is
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Like I've actually remembered doing a few like ship tours and stuff there.
Oh,
It's
you did.
really
Oh,
cool.
you really did up the.
Yeah.
See, I went for more of a snowboarding trip, so we didn't get to do
Okay.
as much. But we got to go to the what's it, canal area, whatever that is there.
You reminded me of something that I thought I mentioned to my wife today, completely unrelated to everything we're talking about right
That's
here.
fine.
But because you said snowboarding trip, do you remember when you were growing up, were there kids that would wear, do you remember I would call it snowmobile jackets?
Oh God. Oh, I could go on this topic for a very long time. This was
Yes.
something me and my friends talked
Snowmobile
about quite
jackets,
extensively. Yes.
Like people would just
They'd be the
wear
guys
like
that had
their
their
Ski-Doo and Arctic hat.
They had the
and it was,
Arctic
like the
jackets.
wildest.
What really flipped
print.
the game on its head was about 2006 or 7 when Monster started making snowmobile jackets. That's what really
Just took it to
the
another
game to
level.
another level. Yes.
Yeah, and
because
I'm even thinking older than that. Like just the iconic
Like you had the orange,
yellow,
just the bright
red, and
orange Arctic
yeah.
Cat one, and the guy had the
Yeah.
yellow Ski-Doo
Ski-Doo.
one, and then the
Yeah.
Polaris blue one. Yeah.
But then I'm quite sure people wouldn't even own snowmobiles, and they
See,
would have snowmobile jackets
Where
sometimes. You know,
where I grew up, and I'm sure this was the same for you. There was a fair number of kids
everyone
that rode.
kind of had a snowmobile.
Well, yeah, everyone
too,
kind of
but-
did, but there was a lot of kids that rode their snowmobiles to school.
Right.
And so like they had their whole kit on to go to school in the morning. They had their snowmobiles
Yes.
parked out front. I didn't really have it. I had a few friends though, because we just like talk about it and kind of make fun of it just because it's like the race suit.
Right.
Like that I had a few friends that had snowmobiles, but they would only wear the snowmobile stuff when they were like out snowmobiling. They wouldn't wear
Oh,
it
well, that's
out in public.
Yeah. No,
But
that
snowmobile
people,
jackets, that's a good one. I haven't talked about that in a long time.
a lot of people would just wear those jacket, like that was their winter jacket, was
Yeah.
like their snowmobile jacket. You know, which I'm sure they're extremely expensive.
Oh
but
yeah, I'm sure. I bet I'm sure they were
even
not cheap.
Googling them now, modern ones are nothing. Like these suck. These do not have the vibe
I
of
gotta look. Oh God, yeah, these are trying
These
way
are-
too much to be fashionable. Like it's
Yeah, those look like nice jackets. But if I look
Yeah.
up snowmobile jacket 90s, oh, the checkered. Like
Oh,
I'm
like the
like, yes,
sleeve?
I straight up remember almost every one of these. If you just type in snowmobile jacket 90s, and like some of them have
Oh
like
yes,
patterned
okay.
checkers on them,
Yes.
and
Yeah, like this green, this green Arctic Cat one, lime green, with
green,
all-
lime green, and purple,
with-
and
and then there's
yeah.
a checkerboard on it. Oh yeah, dude, this is
Yeah, the
actually almost just in style
checkerboard
again.
is a Polaris thing, I think. Actually, maybe so. Well, maybe it.
No, I think it's kind of on all of them because there's Arctic Cat ones too that have it.
Yeah, that might just be a snowmobile thing, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I got to see. Okay, 2000. I got to type in 2000s now because that would have been more when I was in high school here. Oh yeah. Like, and now you can see this Polaris one, Polaris Racing. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These modern ones, these contemporary ones, though, are just like way too nice looking. Like, I'm like,
they
that's
just
not.
they just look like an actual. They
Those
don't
just
look like you're ready to
really
go
nice
racing.
jackets.
Yeah.
No.
They don't look like
No.
you're sponsored. Yeah, the other like the ones from the 90s and early 2000s were taking much more inspiration from a NASCAR driver's jacket, and
Yeah,
these newer ones
absolutely.
are taking much more inspiration from like a North Face jacket.
I guess to be fair, the alternative, the thing that I was wearing was a 90s starter jacket, which in comparison is not that different.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah,
wearing the
I was gonna
Charlotte
say.
Hornets 90s starter jacket that's turquoise with purple stripes on
And a
sleeves,
giant
and,
ass
like, pocket in the front.
well,
of,
and then that giant mascot on the back of it too.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. There is something about the 90s starters jackets, though, that I still love. That I'm like, I could almost see myself buying one of those non-ironically.
The craziest part is when you look now, because they're such a just almost like streetwear part of fashion thing.
Yeah.
Is when you go back and see photos of coaches actually wearing those on the sideline. Because now you'd think they're wearing a costume if they were wearing that.
Right. You'd be like, oh, you're wearing one of those?
One thing I do think about, though, and I know this gets talked about, is that it's actually amazing how casual football coaches' clothing has become over the last 10 years. Like a lot of coaches, they just straight up wear a hoodie. They got like a hoodie and just like pants on. Like that's their uniform. It might be the most casual coach uniform out of every sport.
The old coach picture that I love the most is it's what's his name? Tony Dungy for the Vikings. He's wearing a purple Viking starter jacket, and then it's a different black coach for the Packers, and they're both wearing wild hats, and they both have glasses on.
I got it right here.
They just are like have the like they are just like dripping swag.
Yes. And he's got the turtleneck on too, and then, yeah.
It's like holding the classic green Gatorade cup. I'm like, wow, that picture is nuts.
Like you could show that now and people be like, are those guys going to get coffee nowadays, or is that actually a real thing?
Right. And that was two NFL coaches, like probably at a cold game. It was either at wouldn't have been it was at Lambeau Field, presumably. I doubt they'd be dressed like that inside the Metrodome. So
yeah, I'm gonna sweat today.
Yeah. But even the hats that they're wearing, I'm like, oh, that they definitely passed the vibe check at the time.
It's just style.
And even they're wearing, it's exactly what you said. It's even to the glasses that they're wearing, because people will buy those glasses.
People just wear those
as a cool
now.
look.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like that, like Tony Dungy in that picture. There could be like a 25-year-old dude that wears that exact outfit to look really cool.
Dude, 100%. Like if you go to the zoo this weekend, there will be guys showing up to the zoo dressed like that.
Identical, that look exactly like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snowmobile jackets.
Oh, good stuff. The good old days. We used to be a proper country, they say.
We used to be a proper country. Excellent use of we used to be a proper country. Thank you. This episode was brought to you by our fine friends over at the Strength Co. Keep a lookout for what they got coming Black Friday. They got that listed as their Black Friday sale is going to run November 25th to December 2nd. So this podcast episode will come out on the 25th. So the day this comes out, head over to thestrength.co and check out their Black Friday deals. Don't know if they're giving teasers on what those are exactly. Grant usually runs his best sales of the year, usually over Black Friday, maybe where you buy more, save more. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is, but we will know come November 25th at the Strength Co. I do know for sure that they have the best made in America black iron, black E-coated, smooth, easy to grip Olympic iron plates that exist. They won an award for best plates ever made. Check them out at thestrength.co. Oh, anything else that we want to specifically cover?
I'll do one
week?
more here. It's time sensitive.
Yeah.
We went to a comedy show this past weekend.
Oh yeah.
I
wondered what comedy was.
In town here, probably my wife's favorite comedian, Chris D'Elia. We've seen him. This is the second time we've seen him now. Last time we saw him, it was about a year and a half ago. We went to Minneapolis. He was actually recording a special. So we were there, which was kind of cool, getting to see the whole special take place and do that whole thing. Well, this one was just a chill show in Sioux Falls. It was nothing like that. And man, I actually think I like this show a lot more because, dude, for the first, I don't know if he was on for maybe an hour, I bet 40 minutes of it was just him riffing off the crowd. Like he was not doing material at all. Whereas with the special, like it felt like, okay, yeah, the man has a script he has to follow, which yes, he's filming a special. That's the point of it. But this, he went so long and part of it is, okay, like some of it sucks. I shouldn't say sucks, but it's predictable in the way that he's like, okay, we're in South Dakota. Okay, how many of like we're in South Dakota jokes are we going to do? But it was funny because where he was taking was like, because the venue was right by the mall. And he's like, the mall, because he lives in California. He's like, the rest of the world's like fuck malls. We're not doing malls, but South Dakota, you guys do malls, man. Like,
Yeah.
because I think he was talking about just how busy it was, because that mall is
Yeah.
insane. If you go to that mall any weekend, it is just nuts. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, just everyone there. They're like, give me that shitty food court food. Like, he's talking about it. And then I think at one point he's like, what else do you get? He's like, and you got an Applebee's in there? He's like, I just needed some food. I thought, yeah, if there's a place you can get food, it's the Applebee's. And it is something about like having like an hour and a half wait. And he's like, an hour and a half wait for Applebee's? Like, what's going on here? He's talking about that. And somehow it came up like there's a guy in the crowd. He's like, I work there. And so then he starts like talking about that. And then all of a sudden he's like, what else do you guys got? And someone's like, Texas Roadhouse, because it's right there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's like, do you work there? And the guy's like, yeah. So then he's just like riffing off of these guys working at Applebee's and Texas Roadhouse. And that just went on. And then eventually there was, of course, a super drunk kind of like heckler lady. And it was so funny because like she's doing the thing where, she's clearly trying to get attention. And then all of a sudden he flips it on her. He's like, okay, here we go. And she's like, no. He's like, no, this is my show.
Yeah,
He's like, you wanted it. Here we go. And so all of a sudden he's like going on that. And it was pretty funny because then she has a guy with her that then he's kind of trying to chime in. He's like, sir, what does your shirt say? And he's like, no, really? The guy's shirt said, here to fuck shit up. And he's like, of course it does. So like he's going on that. And overall it was a really funny show, but it was just, I hadn't been to one where it was just so much just crowd work for
not
like
a
three
bit, not
quarters.
a bit,
And he'd be
really.
like, okay, yeah, I promise guys, I'll get to some material here pretty soon, but this is pretty good right now. And then he'd go, and then he'd keep going. He's like, okay, are we ready for some material? He's like, nah, actually, you know what? I'm not done yet. And then he'd just keep going back. And yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
I thought you were going to say my wife's favorite comic, Jeff Dunham.
She's a big fan of Larry the Cable Guy. Larry the Cable Guy, Carlos Mencia, just like early 2000s comedy. Yeah. She's really into all of that.
Crowd work. I was thinking, who's the comedian that's always online doing that? It's Matt Rife. Are you familiar with Matt Rife at all? That's like
only because
crowd work.
I'd never heard of him until he came to Sioux Falls like a year ago, and people were freaking out about it. I'd never heard of him. Admittedly, I don't keep up with
thing is crowd work.
Oh, is
almost. Like that's what I don't know. That's what I see online all the time is him. That's what goes viral is what every time he's doing that. So I assume he does it a lot.
Yeah. I think also comedians try to do that because those clips do tend to go more viral, than just saying a joke.
Chris D'Elia, I can't remember what road trip it was on, but it was remember we played something.
Yeah,
and
I haven't listened to that since then. It was the first time we drove to the Arnold. I'd have to go back. I know you could Google it and figure out what exact episode, but he used to always he'd read the misconnections on Craigslist, which was always basically someone writing some horny love letter to a person they didn't meet. And what was the one he said? Either way, he was reading some misconnections thing, but then I think because the guy said like, we can jack off or whatever. And then he's like, man, this is like the Liam Neeson of like whatever. He's like, I will find you and I will jack you off or whatever. And he's like, and he keeps going on with this like point of view of this guy trying to hunt someone down to jack him off for so long. And I do remember, Tanner, that was the hardest I've ever heard you laugh. Like your back was cramping and everything.
Yes. That was good.
And that's why I always enjoy his podcast way more than this. I don't even watch his specials because I always think his podcast is so much funnier because he's just kind of just saying dumb shit the whole time.
Yeah. Didn't he get canceled for a while and then came back?
And I still don't know. There was a lot of sexual allegations of I don't know if things happened or if it was like just texts that were inappropriate to like people that were maybe 17 or something. I don't actually know what the thing was. I don't think any charges were ever filed either. So yeah, but he did definitely disappear for a while. Oh, the other thing too. Okay, there's two other things that were funny. One is I think it's interesting because these guys clearly tour everywhere. Like they go all over the country.
Right.
And for the most part, they're just like saying funny jokes. And okay, so first of all, they can't escape the political thing. Like the opener talked way more about politics and it like right away, like fairly early on, me and my wife look at each other like, oh God. Like the guy was telling a lot of funny jokes and we're like, he's like, so how about the election? And you're like, okay, is this going to be like a long thing or how long this is going to go?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, sure, you could have political jokes, but at least like surprise me, have some new take or something. And it was that Kamala, she laughs a lot. And it's like, and Donald's pretty crazy. And it's like, okay, like none of those are unique observations and they're not even really jokes. And there was clearly some people in the crowd that were very fired up and excited for that part because you're talking politics and that's what some people's identity is based around. But to me, it felt like there was a while where like the crowd was really hyped. And then they were kind of like, let's get this part done with. And then all of a sudden they were in a good mood again. So that was the opener. And yeah, like we were at a certain point, Leah's like, is this part of it ever going to get done? It's so annoying. So that part gets done. And then so Chris comes out and he kind of sort of just does the same thing where he's just like, politics, huh? Like kind of just like what's going on in the world. And then the next one that he goes into though, is he's kind of talking about, like cancel culture and just things like that. And part of me, I shouldn't say part of me, like you're listening to it and you're like, these jokes kind of don't hit because like the stuff he's talking about, those are not issues in South Dakota. Like, like whether, I mean, that's just how it is here. Like we're not a very diverse state. You know, there's not a lot of, like openly, like, I mean, First of all, there's just not a lot of openly gay people you run into. But if you're just going to run the gamut of like LGBTQ issues, like there's just not a lot of that in public. Whereas like in California or somewhere that can be way more in your face when you go out. So like when he's kind of talking about some of those things, you can just tell the crowd's like, yeah, we don't relate at all. Like that has never, some people are definitely like, that's never happened to me in my life in my small town of 3,000 people that I live in, you know, like, right. So like, it is just funny. Some of the things that he talks about that are clearly just not issues in some people's lives, and then, you know, a much bigger issue in his life.
Overall, it was really good though.
It actually was. It was really fun. Yeah, we had a good time.
Before we close this episode, there was one other thing. This would be a parting note. I want everyone to ponder on this. Today at the gym, Megan Effenston E told me about a deal that her and Tyler are doing at Ruby Tuesdays.
Oh, I think I saw something about this.
Yeah, for a 1 month, you buy access for let's see, was it $40? $40 for 1 month. You get to eat at the salad bar every day of the month.
Yeah, I got it right here.
$40.
Okay, I got it. Yes. Okay, it's the Ruby Tuesday
every single day.
Yeah,
it ends up being like $1.30 a day.
The Garden Bar Pass, a salad a day under $2. One pass is 30 days for $39.99. And if you're not familiar with Ruby Tuesday, you might say a salad a day. Like, well, I don't care about a salad a day, but that's tricky. That's actually not correct labeling for this, because what it actually is get 30 days of this is right from the website, 30 days of our all you can eat garden bar for one low price. And like their salad bar is kind of like a buffet line. Like there's, I mean, all of the regular salad fixins.
There's deviled eggs, there's ham, and like
there's bacon, there's different meats that you would put on your salad, but then there's also all types of like other salads, potato salad, things like that. Cheeses. For $40, that's a pretty damn good deal, especially if you live close to Ruby Tuesday.
Told me they were on day 2 of it, and they were going to go every day. And it would, and if you don't buy a drink she even told the waitress, she's like, "You're not going to make money on me. We're not buying anything else. We're just coming. We're going to come and get a water and have our $1 salad bar each."
Even if you went like 5 times, it's still totally worth it.
If you went like every other day, it becomes like a $2.50 a day
I think
meal.
to just go and just have the garden bar is probably like $8.
Right.
And
she also said there's a 90-day
really
you can sign up for. I wonder if it gets even cheaper. I don't know how it could be cheaper, but she was explaining this to me. I'm like, what? How?
That is really
going on?
Cheap though.
I guess you get people in the door.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. You get this thing here, and I just saw a comment here online. I didn't find it, but it says there's a 90-day pass for $99.
Yeah, she was talking about that. Yeah.
If you live close to one where it was like you could just pop in and just get treat it like a little appetizer, or just need a little snack. Damn, you could go crazy.
Well, then I was like, so is it like you can only go at like 11 a.m. or like some weird time? She's like, nope, anytime they're open, you can go once a day.
Dude, you could eat a lot of hard-boiled eggs on that salad. You can get your money's worth on hard-boiled eggs easy.
It intrigued me. Like, that's not my normal meal.
Well, dude, it's like basically across the street from your work. You could pop over there and just
I'm like, I need to go in there, go eat there just to investigate the salad bar closely.
And no one's got to wait on you. You just go in and just, I mean, you could run through that line in a hurry.
This doesn't even need to be a meal. I could just go like as an extra, like, just like if you were bulking, just like, nope, this is just my 3:30 p.m. meal every day, and it costs $1.
Or like I got done eating, or I'm about to go leave for lunch. This will be my pre-meal before I go eat.
Well, what I asked her, the key question is here: do they have cottage cheese on?
Oh, they have to,
salad
right?
Bar?
Don't they?
I would assume so.
Yeah. I did
that just save me money in cottage cheese.
Good. The closest Rube Tuesday for me is like over 20 minutes away. So yeah, that just wouldn't be advantageous for me. But dude, I think you might be worth looking into that one, Tanner.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna want to do it I'm gonna be like, no, to really maximize, I need to be here every day. You're gonna end up with like 25 people that are just like at Ruby Tuesdays every single day.
Well, this is. So according to Google, the price of Ruby Tuesday's Endless Garden Bar on Monday is $9.99. So really you only need to go like 3 times and it's basically paid for itself.
Going to Ruby Tuesdays 3 times in 1 month would be a lot.
Well, what about 3 times in a week? What about 3 times in a day?
Which reminds me, make sure to check out our Thanksgiving Black Friday drop this week. It's our biggest sales event of the year. Anyone that supports, we appreciate it. We will remembering it. We are keeping a list. Anyone that doesn't, we're also keeping a list. You don't want to end up on that one.
No. Make the right call. You know what to do.
Yeah. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
Follow me at Tanner_Bear. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.